Is there problem?
Potential problem.
Yeah, I'm just looking for my baby's mama.
Look at this. And she's all,
Okay, you know what? You try blasting water up your asshole for 3 years straight. 3 years straight.
The most useless waste of time podcast ever created. No intelligent person needs waste their time.
You have Coppola, Scorsese, and then you have fucking Neil Breen.
Nobody's gonna holler at my microphone. Everybody there! It's funny! You know,
You're listening to the Potential Problems Podcast. Fuck you, pay me. Hashtag just leave it in. Just leave it in.
November.
Oh, no.
Halloween is over. It's Christmas time, bitches.
What are you doing? I did not sign off. I just want to say that this is under protest. This is not cleared with me. I had no input whatsoever.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, screw that. Sorry. We're trying to keep the algorithm positive by not cursing in the first 10 minutes, and we always blow it in the first 2 seconds. Anyway, Potential Problems Podcast. I'm John Cuellar, that is.
My name's Alan Clark. Hello.
Hello. How are you, Mr.
Jolly.
Christmas song? Yeah.
Yeah, you're lucky it wasn't Mariah Carey, dude. I could have loaded that up
You know
real
what?
quick.
I would dig that. Our next guest might dig that, except for I'm sure he's had to play it countless times, probably at gigs and also on the airwaves. DJ Anthony Animal Garcia.
What the fuck are you playing?
See?
Since he's all, keep the cussing down, man. No, I'm just messing around, man. It's so different because I'm on the radio every day, and man, I cannot cuss. So when I press the button, I have to be in church. When I press my button at the radio station, it's like I just walked into church and Santa Maria Madre de Dios, because I have to keep my mind, because the way we talk on the daily, that's not the way I talk on the radio, man. You can say like ass, or you can say biash, or you say you can get away with a few words. But
I heard bastard the other day.
Oh, dude, there's the 7 words you can't say. Yeah. Like I said one day, I was like, Kanye West was pissed, man. He was so pissed. And I was like, oops, you can't say pissed.
No, really?
No, you can't say that. And I was like, and the boss hollers, man. He's all, hey, Animal, what's up? And I was like, what up? And he's like, what was that? What was that? And I go, what was what? And
you just didn't know, right?
Yeah. It's just, you're like, oh, dude, I was pissed, man. This guy almost hit me, or, I was pissed about this. And you just realize, oh, damn, I can't shh. And I go, oh, man. He goes, I know, my bad. You know what I mean? But it was hilarious. Long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah. So we've all had our moments in the sun, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we had a very, very short-lived 1 or 2 episode radio show on KKOB for a very short period of time.
Well,
but we got away with an F-bomb.
Did we?
Josh Fournier let it slip in the middle of
bro, my bad, man. I forgot, bro. Josh Fournier. Oh, dude, I didn't even know. And he was on my radio show, and I go, dude, don't go. Don't go. Yeah, so I recorded it, man. But I was like, yeah, you make sure. Yeah, he came on with Anthony Fournier.
Do you remember when we were at Vernon's the other night, and he was like, I'm a clean comic, and all the comics were just like, we
just looked at him like, man, here's a shovel, the bullshit's getting high, John.
That was a good time.
That was hilarious, man. But I was Potential Problems Podcast. Now I feel like I'm interviewing you, bro. How long you guys been on? You and Andy, man.
Me and Andy Alan Clark. I like, you know what? I'm going to start calling him Andy.
Oh, is it Andy or Alan? Did you say it's Andy or did
honestly,
you say
John pronounces my name Ellen, so I prefer Andy anyway.
Ellen. Me and Ellen.
January will be our 11th year.
Hell yeah. Whoa. Man, congratulations.
11 years. Staying staying while doing a podcast for 11 years.
Staying so culturally relevant.
What is
Look
the
at
very let me test you guys on your knowledge.
Oh, no.
What was the first podcast ever created? Who has that creation?
Jesus, I believe they called it prayer.
Prayer, yeah.
It's like, are you listening to the new podcast? Yeah, I just put my hands together like this.
It's a great RSS feed in the sky.
That's cool.
I don't know. Tell me.
It, Tom Green, maybe?
I would say Tom Green, because of course everybody, Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? That's all you ever think when you hear
entirely
podcasts. You think
possible.
Joe Rogan. But I was just like, who doesn't have a podcast? You think about Tom Green. That was the MTV days, and I remember he used to with the Moose, wasn't he?
Well,
doing
he
that?
did.
Drew Barrymore.
One
those
of the
days,
first
trying to remember.
podcasts was when he did it from his living room, and it
Yeah.
was Tom Green's living room.
25 plus years ago. How long's it been, man?
2005, maybe, Alan.
Yeah, dude, it had to be at least 21 something like years ago, dude.
2004, they're giving...
2004.
They're wanting to give it to Adam Curry from an MTV VJ.
Oh, wow. Adam Curry.
Now, all this,
Isn't that crazy?
all of that stuff, though, seems to have stemmed from, I'd say Opie and Anthony first, but also Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because, Howard's show was
Well, yeah,
practice.
I mean,
and that's the king of radio,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know,
had
one of them.
Howard Stern up here.
Yes.
Opie and Anthony up here. But
Yes.
Howard Stern, man, what do you think of him in general? I mean, what's your opinion of him? Have you...
Of opinion of Howard Stern, Private Parts, one of the best radio movies of
That is
all
a
time.
great movie, right?
And Howard Stern did everything possible you can do
much.
to become a DJ, and it takes a lot of work. And I know that I've followed in the footsteps of all these great radio legends, man, by watching them, and learning from them. But Howard he was brilliant, dude. You can't take anything away from him.
Yeah, his wig was
he
bad.
pushed it. But that's the thing. You have a face for radio.
Well, what do you think of what I find just fascinating? I had to say it that way. What I find fascinating is that he had this crazy career. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was like really into bass humor. That's like when you're at 16 to 30, whatever, you're kind of like, ass, pussy, dick, shit. It's a good old time.
Yep.
And then what happens is eventually you're like, getting older, talking about all this stuff doesn't hit the same way to me personally.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about it as much. And you kind of see a shift in Howard Stern's career from going from having women sit on, what is it? What are they, Sibian
On
machines?
the speaker, yeah.
Yeah.
And
To
that changed everything.
Yeah, to having now, he'll have celebrity guests on, and like you said, he's in church. He doesn't
Yes.
say anything that's off color really anymore, right?
He's behaved, huh? He's
Yeah.
gotten more mellow, and realized that. But it's crazy because in everything, in TV, in radio, and in comedy, I always think, how far can somebody push the envelope, man? Because people push it, or they go there, or they get dark, and it's cool sometimes. And then sometimes it is not cool.
Andrew Dice
You should
Clay.
have never done that.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yes.
What do you think of those two, Andrew Dice Clay and Tony Hinchcliffe?
Andrew, believe it or not, I opened up for Andrew Dice Clay
Did you? I hear he's a
at
fucking
the
cool dude.
Camel Rock, and guess who featured? Guess who was in between us?
Who was that?
I was looking at the picture the other day, and I went, "Holy shit, that's Sebastian Maniscalco!"
Oh shit!
I was like, and Sebastian, man, blew up too.
Yeah.
But like Andrew Dice Clay, you cannot take any. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I have it live at Madison Square Garden, literally in my vehicle right now. That CD is always in there. Yes, I said CD.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yes,
I
it's
have a
in
CD
there
player.
because I still go over all those CDs, that I love so much, and just to refresh my mind and how much comedy, how much I love it, and Andrew
I think
Dice
that's
Clay
good.
was one of them. But you don't sell out he was the first dude to sell out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And then you have Kevin Hart's, and you have Jerry Seinfeld, and there was people that actually sold it out as well. But that's not easy.
Do you think
So
Kevin-
He has the title for doing that. There's only like 3 or 4 comics that have sold out Madison Square Garden at this point.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's rare. That's why he was on a show recently.
Do you think Kevin Hart's in the P. Diddy videos?
Oh, no.
No, I don't think.
Oh, no.
Dude, he's on one of the
Well,
videos
he's
where
in
the
the-
girl's hair caught on fire.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah, and I mean, he used to host them. What I'm
Do you think
thinking
there are worse
is,
videos?
Dude, that's what I'm wondering. If there's
No.
if there's celebrities, artists, sports, across the field saying, "Oh my God, I hope that doesn't go."
I know, right?
Fuck, they were filming me, or they were filming her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that sucks. Because say we did all kinds of shit back in the day, and we
Dude,
had parties.
I'm
and
like
that
thinking,
stuff,
I'm
dude,
like, cool.
they will when you're. I tell people, man. It's like a guy. I go, you are always on camera. Always. You know this. Or do you? Do you not know this? You're on camera constantly. You're in the bank. You're on camera. You're on the street. You're on camera.
You're walking
at
past
Walgreens.
houses.
You're at Walmart. You're walking past houses.
They're everywhere.
We're on camera right now.
Yeah.
You're on camera every single day. Think. And people are filming.
I film
Do you
in
know
the
what I mean?
bathroom.
Yeah, like, you got to be a really good citizen. You got to film fights and accidents before you help.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I
yeah.
think about it, and I was a joke that I was like, man, how do I make this joke happen? I'm a real good citizen, man. I film an accident or a fight and post it on Facebook or YouTube before I help. Because that's the
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Someone's going to report it on Facebook
like-
and be like, call 911 right
Yeah,
now.
They have to spread awareness.
Yeah. It's just the world is crazy, man, and filming is everything,
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I see all these TikTok videos and I see all these YouTube videos, and honestly, I can pat myself on the back and go, you were doing that 25 years ago, 30 years
There
ago.
were just no cameras.
The VHS camera, every single camera you can think of. I was doing this back in the day, making
Yeah,
all these
dude.
videos. I'm like, dude, you need to bust those out and go hashtag way ahead of my time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Doing Dr. Dre, doing all these rap bits, comedian bits, acting bits. I was doing that, but now it's just freaking flooded. Everybody does it.
Well, people love like stuff from back in like footage from the 90s
Yeah.
and the 2000s. Like it's the shit, right? Do you follow any YouTube channels that are like nostalgia? Like what were you-
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even know where to start.
There
dude.
was that one Russian guy who's like, we're going to a McDonald's land. Oh, yeah. His big video camera. He's like, I'll have the Big Mac. We have to go to the store. And they go find iced tea. It's just them like shopping and just
love
doing
that
everyday stuff.
dude.
Yeah.
From the 80s and 90s, you're like, wow, it's just a different time, right?
Well, that's everything has came back from to me, I was born at the perfect time.
Me too.
I
think so.
truly feel that I was born at the perfect time because I got to experience the Atari, not a phone that you had to dial, on the rotary phone. You
Was
had
it
to carry
2600?
Yes,
Atari
the 2600. I
2600?
still have it.
Do you?
I still have my
Those are
Atari.
awesome.
This is the thing about Chicanos, man. When you get something, they said, you,
hold on
better
to
make
it."
it last forever.
Yeah.
Your
Oh,
shoes,
yeah.
you only get one pair. You only get one Atari. You only get
can't not
one
to this
motorcycle
joke.
and one bike. You break
I'm
it, you're screwed. Dude, so I still have a stereo too. Dude, I begged for Christmas with a stereo, and it was a radio, a cassette, and it had a record player in it. It's just a box, bro. It's
yeah.
only like this big, but it has a record player. You press it, and the record player comes half out, so the record goes half in. That thing still works, and that Atari. And I just look at them, I'm like,
They're cool.
Damn it, yeah, because I really, I took care of it because I knew I'm only getting one.
What about those big stereo cabinets that Grandma used to have with the turntable?
Dude,
and
with
it's like
the
fucking
speakers.
as big as a sofa, dude.
Dude, my uncle had one of those, bro.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the times where you would just, there was a marijuana plant, And he was one of those
corner.
hipster dudes back in the day, bro, the Doobie Brothers. So he had all the records, him and my aunt, they had the records. And that's where I got introduced to the biggest music folder of all time is the 70s. When I DJ, I'm like, sheesh, the 70s has the most files in it. It's ridiculous. There was so much music in the 70s. Doobie Brothers, you had the Doors, you had the Eagles, it just goes on and on and on and on. You know, all of them. It just goes on and on and on and on and on.
That was the time where, you know, rock had progressed from its initial big bang to it was being more refined. You were starting to see a lot more artistry. People were getting into like 12-string guitars and shit like that, and trying to make the harmonies a little bit more precise.
The recording techniques were better, and
oh yeah, I
know, like,
I know.
It was
this guy's a huge fan of Phil Spector.
his personal work.
But what were you gonna say? Wall of sound and guns.
Bodies.
Well, I remember in Why Do Fools Fall in Love, he said he goes, doo-wop is out. He goes, the Beatles took it. The Beatles stomped it out, and Jimi Hendrix took it somewhere else. Like, you know, he just basically told him, this is where music has gone. You know, because you had Elvis, we gotta win. You know, it was Elvis. Then it was the Beatles.
We gotta win this race.
Yeah, you know, boom. And then it's just, you know, it's Purple Haze. So it just the whole progression of music, and then '80s took it, you know, completely somewhere else.
Well, you had new wave, and what were you listening to the '80s like?
MTV
in the '80s,
MTV,
yeah, right?
dude. MTV was one of the greatest.
So like Flock of Seagulls, Johnny Mellencamp,
Dire Straits,
Money
Ain't for Nothing, Billie Jean, Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the bands. You know, there was Cyndi Lauper, there was Like a Virgin, Madonna. All these, you know. You Flock of Seagulls, all that. I ran so far away, and then they had to make the video, which videos are still, you know. I'm still watching. You know, I'm watching Sweetie. I'm watching Drake. I'm watching Kendrick Lamar videos. Like, wow, they just went onto YouTube. You know, MTV died one day. I honestly don't know when it died. I think when what was the
Jersey Shore?
Yeah, well, no, before that, what was the reality show?
Real World.
The Real World. Yes, when they had the house.
I remember
that was
a
the
little
first.
bit of
That
that
was the first reality show.
I wish they would come out with more Real World seasons of Chappelle Show. Right? You remember that? Where the dude was just banging that dude's girlfriend while that guy was crying and jacking off.
What he's doing now. Dude, two of my Dave Chappelle favorite bits, man, and they're so bad, is, you know, where he's doing where he's the racist, you know, but he's black.
Oh, the black racist.
Yeah, and then he's
blind.
but then he's delivering milk to that family, to the N family, and he's like, I'm on it, you know, and he's you know, it's just so bad, but only he could get away with it.
Yeah.
And he did. He pushed the envelope too. And Comedy Central, you know, you had 2 great seasons of Chappelle, and then it was over.
Now, what do you think people would think if Dave Chappelle came out and he said, "I'm voting for Donald Trump"?
This
Do you
whole
think
they give him $100 million?
Netflix would, sure.
Yeah, and this whole thing has like taken us back to the Hillary Trump days too. It's like the same thing now.
It's so nuts.
You know, it's Kamala and it's Trump. And Trump was here yesterday. You know, now I was like, oh my God. You know, everybody what's gonna perspire from a Democratic state? Is everybody gonna get crazy? You know what I mean? I just say, hey, this is what people believe, and you cannot change people's opinions. Let them. I'm not going to make you like Coke if you like Pepsi. Yeah. I'm not going to make you like the Raiders if you like the Broncos. I'm not going to make you be a Catholic if you're a Christian. You can't make people do what they want. That's called freedom. That's called everything. You know, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Yeah. Let people without like, oh, John, that's who you're for? Mm-hmm. I'm off your podcast, dude. We're done. You know, and I'm like, you can't just let somebody have their opinions. It's their life, you know. Don't try to change people.
Yeah, John.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, John. Stop trying to change Alan Andy's Phil's.
Trying to pray the gay away. That's my fault.
Stop trying to take away his music, man.
It's so weird politically, and the more I like study history or just read stuff, the more I find out that like everything we have in our lives today is the same thing mostly that other people have faced throughout history, just in different forms, you know? So, like...
History always repeats itself.
Yeah, there's always been political strife, right?
There's sayings that are really, really true. History always repeats itself.
It's just different people.
And back to the celebrity thing, how much percentage do you think... Yes. Have a potential problems podcast. How much potential from a celebrity do you think they give to a political party if they endorse them? What do you think the percentage is? I just read it.
Really?
Yes.
Let's see here. I'm gonna say it's negligible. I'm gonna say that usually they're preaching to the base anyway, so maybe about 2%.
7%.
Really?
So
Okay.
Eminem, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Kill Tony, whoever's endorsing,
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock,
Chris
whoever's
Rock.
endorsing, whoever's endorsing that, that political party, that's how much percentage they give. 7%. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Billie Eilish, all these people Taylor Swift, everybody that's coming out, this is who I'm endorsing. It's 7%.
Who's the first name you said?
The first person I remember it was Taylor Swift, that they were like,
okay,
she endorsed, Kamala, and then they started everybody like back and forth, and to me it seems like it's been more Kamala, you know what I mean? Because you have Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, Eminem. That's who I was gonna say. Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Really quick.
They have their
in 2002.
Yes.
When Eminem was blowing up, 2003, 2004.
When I saw him here at 98th and Central at Tumbleweed?
Yes. Then.
I saw him before he signed
Holy
with Dr.
shit,
Dre
dude.
at Tumbleweed, 98th and Central.
How was it?
Dude, it was
fucking amazing.
Fucking phenomenal, bro. And he wasn't the Dr. Dre protege. He wasn't, it was just
a little different.
Yes, you're like, wow, I've seen a lot of artists like that.
Did you ever think
I met so many artists and I didn't think they were going to blow up the way they did.
Did you ever think that Eminem would endorse, that we would live in a world where Eminem would seriously endorse a political candidate? Did you ever see that coming down?
I'd have to say probably not, because you know how reserved he is, and I've met him, and he's just really quiet and mellow, and he's just that dude that likes his privacy. So I wouldn't know. I honestly didn't, but I think he's came out with a lot more because he went through his everybody goes through their demons. We all go
getting
through our
older, right?
Yes, and
You're
you get
more
all yes.
open,
I've already
like,
we've already went through the things.
Let me tell you about this,
There's
Hito.
nothing else, Hito, you can't do to me that's already been done. You know what I mean? You can't hurt me anymore. You know what I mean? That's just the way we get older, and we get more.
We're more outgoing.
Relaxed and outgoing, and we're like, hey, I'm going to stick my ground, and I'm going to say what I got to say without anybody like trying to change your mind and tell you, no, you shouldn't do that.
I think that's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yes, but seeing Obama rap to Eminem,
oh yeah,
sweating my arms are, and it was hilarious. It was pretty hilarious. So that was cool. But to see those any entertainer, any person of any job they do or whatever their career is, come and show how much they love that artist.
Yeah.
That the artist, the person as the artist, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but
no, I know what you mean.
I'm trying to say they're to me. I love all the different talents. Like I love your comedy, bro. I like John's,
love your comedy.
His comedy, the way you do it, the way you talk, and the way you're moving. Every single person. I love musicians. I love comedians. I love actors. I love anybody that has that creative talent.
Yeah,
that's so cool to see.
Donald Trump.
Anybody that has a talent, you cannot take away people's talent.
Well, you can't. There's one thing that I will give to that motherfucker is he definitely knows how to capture attention.
People,
right?
People misconstrue that dude. That dude was broke, then he was a millionaire, then he was a billionaire, then he went bankrupt, I think, like 7 times, then he became a billionaire, then he became a millionaire, and then became the president of the United States.
Yeah.
You can't. There's a lot of things that if you do, people can't take those things away from you if you've done them. You see him, you see Kanye West. There's people that have done things that you cannot.
Like bang someone's wife. Like I banged his wife. Loser.
There's some people do it like infamous. He's not famous. He's infamous.
Speaking of infamous,
Three Amigos.
You were just saying, Three Amigos.
Dude, we can talk all damn day.
What do you think about
We're going from subject to subject, which is cool.
Did you ever hear about Sam Kinnison's role that was cut from that? It's in
what?
It's in a book called Brother Sam, written by his brother, Bill Kinnison.
Say it!
Yeah, who was his manager for a long time. He used to do interviews for him on the phone.
Dude, you have thrown me for a curve. I would have never thought that Sam Kinison came on in Three Amigos.
Yeah, well,
or they cut his part. What happened?
Well, he filmed scenes, and one of the scenes
he
played this guy that they kept killing over and over, but he wouldn't die. And one of the scenes was him being shot, and he gets thrown into a creek. And he actually got kind of sick because he was laying in freezing water for most of the day.
Oh, shit.
But it turns out something happened. I don't know if it was because his manager was an asshole or something else was going on. But they cut his role from the film, and it was kind of a big bummer because, you know, it was a big – I mean, it's a classic.
It's crazy because you have two comedians there, Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Classic
comedians.
Right.
You know, Steve Martin, I used to listen to his records too.
Dude,
I mean, Richard Pryor.
Martin.
Yes, Steve Martin, the jerk.
What do you think about
And it's crazy. Where I'm trying to think of, I wonder who knew Sam Kinison there, because who might have said, hey, we got to get Sam on the show. Because Chevy was more, I just watched Saturday Night too, which was the story.
Was that good?
Oh, it's
I hear it's
fucking phenomenal. You got to see it.
Alan, have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the movie that just came out.
The 90 minutes
What just came out
before
about
the first
Saturday
Night Live
Yeah.
started. It's, bro, you would
Definitely
not,
worth a
you
watch.
would not even think,
I love a
what
production
in
story.
the hell is going on right here? All the problems that happened with Lorne Michaels and the whole setup from that 90 minutes before they started is just freaking phenomenal, dude. And Chevy, you know, and Dan Aykroyd, and then you have, you know, Eddie Murphy wasn't there yet, but it's just Gilda Radner and John Belushi. It was crazy.
I always dug that really skinny chick. Not Gilda Radner, but the other one. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, she was a hottie.
What
What was up with like chicks in the 70s were so skinny?
Dude, they were real. They didn't have implants yet.
Yeah, it was like banging a praying mantis, right?
Then they would devour. That's Gilda Radner.
No.
Oh shit, Bill Murray too, man.
Oh, you know what? Jane Curtin was an all-timer. She was.
Who was the girl in the middle? What the hell? Why can't I think of her in the middle?
I forget her name,
That's
but
the one
yeah.
you wanted.
I guess because she looks like Robert Plant a little bit. I love Zeppelin.
She's buying the Stairway to Heaven. You know what I mean? It's like,
dude, that's fucking Garrett Morris, right?
Dude, that dude, yeah, he's in
all-timer. Moment of silence for Garrett Morris, right, dude? Fucking all-timer.
There's a part, I just don't want to give it away.
Lorraine Newman.
I don't, but there's an amazing part with that dude, and he had a lot of. He
was fucking smart,
yes,
dude.
He came up, and there was a moment where he actually like changed everybody's mind, and it was phenomenal. I don't even want to say it. You got to see this, man. It's freaking awesome, bro.
Awesome.
As a comedian,
what is it on again?
It's at the theater.
Oh,
I just saw it at the theater like 2 weeks ago. But, you know, it'll be on streaming by tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, right? And we'll stream it tomorrow.
I'm going to stream it right now, and, you know, yeah.
You were talking a little bit ago about you met like a ton of celebrities. You've been doing radio for 30, how many years exactly?
I've been doing radio for 26 years. I started in 1998. 26 years. I've been on KISS for 21 years, on KISS 97.3. Longest
the
running
most
DJ.
Successful radio station in Albuquerque, like one of the top three,
one of
right?
them, yeah, because it was, you know, you had KISS 97.3, 94 Rock, 92.3 KRST Country and Rock. You know, those are the monsters. You know, those are the monsters. And you have KNW, which was New Mexico Music. Yeah. And you know, then there's just a variety of other stations. You know, there's KKOB AM too. That was news, and they were always high in the ratings too. But you know, I love. That's speaking of creative talents. I love all the DJs. Talents and what they could do and how they could speak and how their show went.
Did you like Larry Aarons?
There was nobody I have disliked.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I've gotten along with everybody. I've seen that potential and that creativity and that talent in everybody. I don't worry about the other horses. I'll tell them, hey, that's that's a nice saddle and those are nice horseshoes. But when the race is about to start, I put on the mask and I just do what I got to do.
Really good, man.
I just got, but I don't. You know, I can't be arrogant in a way. I can't not talk to somebody. I'm just that dude, man. I like to have that heart of gold, and I like to really lift people up, because when the hell do you see anybody, especially our people, Chicanos, keeping us down? You know what I mean? No. That's rare that it happens. You'll never see if I see a Chicano president before I die, I will be fucking amazed. Because
yeah, I'm trying to think. There's
a majority of the census, and there's still
There's nobody at the forefront now. Maybe that's.
There was Cruz and who was the other dude? There was two of them, Republicans.
I would do it myself,
at
but the Grindr pictures would come out. So I don't want that to happen.
The Diddy parties and the baby
the
oil.
Diddy parties.
You'd get caught, man. You'd be like, oh, yeah, with my record, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Who's some really cool people that you met?
Probably one of my favorites of all time, and it was completely unexpected as a rapper, was LL Cool J.
Oh man, that's cool.
I got invited with my buddy Ricky, man. Big shouts out to Rick, man. He was working with Jackson's Gym at the time, and LL was going to go see the gym, and he wanted a little tour, and he invited Ricky to go to the show, which we were doing of LL Cool J at Route 66, right?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a meet and greet with LL. He was doing like, some private meet and greets with the tribe and all that, and I didn't, we weren't gonna go meet him, but Rick was like, oh, hey, you want to come back with me, you and your girl? And I'm like, yeah, and my girlfriend at the time was just like head over heels over LL. So he's like, you want to come back? And we're like, hell yeah. And I was like, and I just stood there, dude. And I was like, and my girl's like, oh my God, I want to take a picture of LL. And all the girls are going crazy, and Z-Trip, the DJ's there with him, and Rick, they're all taking pictures. And I'm just looking at him, and I think it was deeper for me because me and him went through similar things with our fathers, and I read his book. Yeah. And so all these things were just rushing through my head. Mama says, knock you out, huh? And I was thinking about the Kango hat and the stereo and how I started loving hip hop. And this dude was one of the forefront dudes that I started with. Yeah. You know what I mean? KRS-One, Busy B, him, Ice-T, Ice Cube, NWA. And I was like, oh my God. And then, they were like, it's your turn. And I'm like, my boy LL, and I'm like, Lisa, Angela, Pamela, Renee, and he's just laughing, and I have it filmed, and he was just so cool. He's like, man, and I go, dude, 13 albums, oh my God, like, I can't believe, like how happy and excited I am to meet you.
He was really overjoyed.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So, but he was so cool. He said, and we were all, okay, man. He's like, where you going, man? We're gonna have a party for Z-Trip. Stay and hang out with us. And that just meant a lot.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
So that meant a lot. And I think LL probably has the title, man. And him and J. Cole was cool. Ice Cube, they've had their moments in the sun with Ice Cube and Snoop because they have such, strict. Rules with their. They have to.
They have like a whole corporation.
And everybody wants to meet Snoop and Ice Cube. And I've met them. I have been so blessed beyond measure. But that's me. Yeah. I'm a celebrity, like crazy freak, man. I have autographs. I've done like meet and greets. I've hung out with them. I've interviewed them. I'm opened up for them as comedians. Like I was just born to entertain. That boy got talent, when I see Rides, which I just saw. And Eddie Murphy was the reason that I got into comedy because I would listen to Cheech and Chong. I would listen to Steve Martin. I would listen to George Carlin. I would listen to all these phenomenal comedians.
Yeah.
I just, but Eddie, Delirious, that was it.
Oh yeah, that was definitely one of the all-time, right?
Yeah. And I had already had this fever from Charlie Chaplin. My dad showed me a Charlie Chaplin movie when I was like 8 years old, and I go, that's what I want to do. I want to be an actor. I want to be on the TV. I want to be in a movie. I want to be funny, and I want to make people laugh. That was when I was a kid. So my dream was to be an actor, which I just became.
Oh, nice. What did you film?
I finally got my SAG-AFTRA card. I'm officially an actor.
Nice. Congratulations.
So that's, the dreams that have came true. I'm very grateful and blessed. I'm thankful, but I want other people, man, to succeed and make those dreams come true. My radio dreams can come true, hitting 20 on KISS, being an actor, being a stand-up comedian, man, getting ready to open up for Russell Peters.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Dude, I'm psyched, and I'm like, dude, you got to kill it for these 5 shows, and I'm pumped because these are people that I looked up to. And it's not only just the big people I look up to. Like, I see you and I'm like, dude, John's badass. I call you out of the blue. I'm like, John, bro, we got to do something together. Or when are you going to come do Vernon's? Like, I'm like, dude, I know you got talent. I know you're a badass, bro. I know you like to do this. I love seeing everybody bring out the best in them. I know, and to me, man, I'm the biggest hype man when it comes to anybody's talent.
Well, it's cool now that we have some stuff to be hyped about in Albuquerque. I mean, we have Casadas, we have Dry Heat. We have the Box for Improv.
Yep.
We have, what's the place that's...
now they're doing the Block. And then they have, there's a bunch of the breweries. There's the Brew Lab. There's so many different things.
There's that place on
and
Wyoming.
Then there's supposedly going to be Hyenas one day. That's another one in Uptown, which I think every single one is far away from each other. So there's no threat and more work for everybody. There's so many great talents.
Plus, with having a lot of comedy around, a lot of venues, a lot of opportunities, a lot of open mics, that's really how a scene develops. That's how you get these great stories. Maybe not everybody gets famous, but everybody has an opportunity to do their art. And I believe if you're doing comedy to get famous, that's cool. If you're doing it for money, you might want to get a day job too.
I get paid all the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I get paid. Because I love radio. I love comedy. I love being on an actor set.
That's the key.
And learning all these things. That's what I want. I wanted to be an anchor, to tell you the truth. I went to school to be an anchor. This is Anthony Garcia with Action 7 News. Back to you.
Who's your favorite anchor from back in the day? Was it Johnny
Dick
Morris?
Niffy, Nelson Martinez, bro.
Can I tell you my brush with celebrity with Dick Niffing?
You got to tell me the Dick Niffing story,
I was working at Dion's when I was about 20 years old, and Dick Niffing came up to the counter, and he was like asking for something. And I said, hey, I helped him, and then I was like, you're Dick Niffing, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I really enjoy your reporting. At least you're not like that weasel Larry Barker. And he goes, Larry Barker is one of my best friends. And he turned around and walked away. And I really like Larry Barker. I was just making a joke, and I was 20, and so I was an asshole.
I mean,
but I love him too, Johnny Morris.
Dude, what was another one?
Mary Roper,
Howard,
the Duck.
Yeah, let's see what kind of story Howard's got for us today. The weather dude that made the Suns.
Howard Morgan.
I was gonna say Johnson Morgan.
Morgan.
Dude, the little Suns that he used to make when you're a kid, you're like, that's the coolest weatherman
that
ever.
Was very cool.
Yeah, so you have a bunch of different. So that like being an anchor, but you know what? I have talked to anchors over the years, and I will tell you all of them, and I'm not going to mention any names, all of them have told you, just stick to radio, man, because to me, news is very, very hard, and I don't think I'd have as much fun because it's 29 and a half minutes of negative, serious news, and then it's 30 seconds of a baby giraffe was born at the zoo today. His name is Skip, Andy. Alan, his name's Alan. Good night. Goodbye. That's the only positive thing we have to say to you. You know what I mean? But it's gotten better. They do like, where they're giving people money, they're recognizing great people in the community. I'm not saying it's always that, but it's very they have to report, the stories that are very, very harsh.
Tonight's news: 17 people were killed in Gaza in a bombing. Yeah. Steve Martinez has more details, and then they go to like the national guy, right? Yes. And you're just like, who wants to do that?
There's so many, right? There's so many things that, it's so they say it's a lot more. And I have a friend, she's an anchor. She says, man, I have to be working, man. I have to get up early, and I have to be there, and it's hard.
Do they have to write their own script too?
They have to study,
like, this
do
is
all
what
their
I'm
own.
Gonna say.
What Andy Allen's doing over here, man. He's scoping for us on everything we bring up, man. So he has to be like, damn,
he does a great job of that.
Yeah, he's great.
Have you had a celebrity encounter that maybe wasn't as positive, that was disappointing?
R. Kelly.
Right up to
I had an encounter with R. Kelly when I was 16 years old, and it was in a Define Fitness sauna.
I gotta hear this one. Okay, dude, tell me.
So I was like 16, 17 years old. I was on a swim team at the time, and I would get off the swim team.
No, that's even worse.
I'd get off the swim team and go do some
your
sauna
Speedos?
time. Yeah.
Would you wear your Speedos all the way
Michael Phelps.
Just wear your Speedos in the car?
That is why I started.
Really? That's cool, man. That's awesome.
But no, I was wearing like jammers, so it wasn't quite Speedos, but they were
can't
tight,
wear jammies.
not jammies.
Oh, where was that at? What city?
San Mateo.
It was here?
Yeah, Define Fitness.
What the hell? By the way, I raced him in swimming one time. Totally smoked him.
Really?
No. Alan beat me by like 2
what?
full lengths.
I was like, oh, damn,
I was
man.
like, you were a swimmer. He kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
and,
like, this dude's way too tall. John's way too small. He had to paddle. He had to swim like 40
I was
laps
like a chihuahua,
just
dude.
to get to the other side. Yeah.
So I was just in the sauna with a couple other people at Define Fitness, and people were like, R. Kelly's bus pulled up outside. He's supposed to be coming in. And then, like, him and 4 other people rolled in like, tracksuits, carrying a big old cooler.
Yeah.
And they were pouring water on the fucking electric steam.
Steamer,
you're not supposed to do,
you're not
right?
supposed to
Not
do,
at
which I almost
all.
did this morning because it wasn't working. I almost did that at Shoes. Like, oh, don't do that. Dude. No, I'm tired. I'm like, don't. Because you're like, come on, man. Yeah.
But yeah, it was R. Kelly just in there with his homies.
Oh, really?
And that was, unfortunately, for the story's sake, that was it.
You didn't say, what's up, R. Kelly? You
I
say
didn't
nothing?
know who he was. I didn't listen to R.
You
Kelly
ain't
much.
got
Like
to
I knew
lie,
about
Alan.
no.
Alan
like,
was thinking, my mind's telling me no. My body saying yes. In his Speedos.
I mean,
I don't see nothing wrong with a little
he has some
bump and
great
grind.
songs, right? Bump and grind.
Dude, you
all time.
cannot. Bro.
Can you still listen to Ignition? Because all I picture
the
is him like hitting on
potential-
kids
bro,
now. He's all, let me
there-
sip in the ignition. I'm like, no, it's a 4-year-old.
There is so many
12.
Dude, people, artists that aggravate the living shit out of me. R. Kelly, Britney Spears,
Oh, I love Britney
Kanye
still.
West, like they have talent, but they destroy themselves.
I would
and
date
I
Britney
can't. People like, you don't know that they have mental problems. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
We all have mental
We
problems.
all. So they're human.
Yeah, exactly.
People say, I went through this, I went through that. I'm like, so you're human.
I
We're
like
human,
Britney
everybody.
now because I think I could actually attain her. I'm like, if I was just
Hey, she
walking
married
around-
herself, dog. You're done. She just married herself.
Oh, well, that's all right.
I'm serious, dude. She put on a wedding
did
dress and
see
married
that.
herself. What the hell? I mean,
you
know,
the best
but
sex is with yourself.
they
Why not take it one
could
step
have-
further?
They could have toured forever, like Cher, the human.
What does that say about-
You know, it's freaking
But
Cher,
what is-
dude. You could tour forever, like Frankie Valli at 95 years
Oh,
old.
dude, have you seen the
Yes,
videos
and
of
then,
Frankie
yes.
Valli?
So, but dude, let me
calling
tell
him
you
a
this.
Disney animatronic.
I saw him at Route 66. I took my mom. My mom said, you better take me to see Frankie Valli. I have to see Frankie Valli. I was like, cool. And I went over there, and he did. And they were like, Sherry. You know, they did the whole voice, and everybody's all, no, you know, are they recording it? And then he goes, you guys don't really think I'm doing that, right? And he told the guys, put your microphones down. All the guys behind him put the microphones down. He goes, turn off turn off everything. Just give me a house mic. And dude, this was when he was like 89 years old.
It was Frankie Valli?
Yes, it was Frankie Valli, Route 66, and they have
wow.
video of it. And he's like, Sherry, baby. I was like, what the hell?
Oh.
He does just have that voice. And he took care of himself. But even in Jersey Boys, Christopher Walken goes, you're going to be touring until you're 90. Because he had to pay all that money back from all the band's mess-ups and screw-ups and everything. So it's almost like, is it true that he ended up, touring forever? But he does have the voice. There's people there. Look, the Rolling Stones are still touring.
What about
There's there's
when
groups that still tour?
Rodney was going up on to do sets, but he was having like a little thing in his ear where people could feed him his jokes. I understand like wanting to keep doing it, but it does seem at some point it's like you either have to.
John, if you had to, if they're like, dude, I can't hear, I can't remember, dude. You know what I mean? Even
I'd still keep trying to go. I'd be like,
Yes.
I'd lie to myself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
If I
I'm
was
gonna
the
keep
club
doing
owner,
it.
I'd be like, drink specials we have right now in the middle of his set. Just like start pitching, people buy stuff. You know he's gonna say it. He has to.
Obviously, this a comedian can't remember his next joke, so
there's
we're
a-
going to go ahead and read out the specials.
I mean, there's a beauty in that though, in doing.
Do
what
you fear it?
Just do.
Do you fear? Okay, my fear, as there's so many fear. My biggest fear is the Robin Williams fear.
Oh yeah.
And that to me, and then Jim Carrey, like you see Jim Carrey and you saw Robin Williams, and they say no matter how much I did, no matter how many movies no matter how great I was, and no matter how much money I had, I still wasn't happy. I was
Yeah.
still, it was the thrill. That's why I say, if you truly love the art the way I do, like, you know, do you love the art, or do you love the money? Do you love the fame? Do you love the this? So if you love the art and that's taken away from you, like, I feel like with what happened with Robin Williams is he got dementia. And not only that, then they told him, and you're starting to suffer from Parkinson's disease.
won't
And
be able
that's
to
when he
control
said,
your body.
I'm going to end this. And that was sad. Because it broke my heart. Because I'm like,
It was
Robin
sad
so
for
talented, you know?
us.
Yes.
But that's what I'm going to do. If someone's like, John, you're going to go to shit in about 6 months, I'm fucking riding some sort of train out of here. I'm not going to wait to linger. Maybe I'll give it like 3 months. But I definitely understand where he's coming from on that.
I mean, it's your life. It's your life, you know.
It's like Bon Jovi said.
Have you seen the death pod?
What?
There's the death pod in Sweden where you go in it, they fill it full of nitrous, and you die that way.
There's a pill
there was
too.
this lady who did that.
So
Dr.
they did
Kevorkian,
that.
They did that to this lady out there, and they used the death pod, and they looked at her body afterwards, and they found strangulation marks on her neck. So, like,
All Law and
there's
Order.
a big investigation happening now.
He's like, oh, Law and Order. Like, oh, wow, that's, he already has
we
that
downloaded the
He had
Law
that
and
queued
Order
up
clip.
already. Man, she's still alive. First Sarkos was up. He was around. Whoa.
Yeah, so it seems
The
like
boss remains
He
in
looks
custody.
trustworthy.
Yeah, he's like, he looks like he's pretty stressed. Like, man, they snapped or something.
I need a CEO with a haircut with hair on the sides to trust.
Well, how did Doctor?
I'm not trusting this guy who's got a fade.
He looks like he's going skiing, like he's an
got-
Austrian
would you call
skier or
that
something. Like he's going skiing. Look at him, dude.
He gets the very high fade. Like, I love a high fade, dude, as I get older.
But it's kind of
look
like,
at that
it
shit,
looks
bro.
like, oh.
That high fade is to hide the
Like, bro, you went
receding
too high on the
hairline.
right side, man. You went too high on the right side, dude. They're like, dude, super cuts, really, man. That's a super cut, master cut, bro. But Dr. Kevorkian, how the hell did he get? You know what I mean? Remember?
Well, he died too, right?
Did he get away? But they had to sign off, or they had to. How
think-
did he? They allowed him to do this shit.
Yeah, no, there was consent with this, but I guess she didn't die from the gas.
So he's
So he got in
Choked
there
her.
and finished the job and thought nobody would
Damn, dude.
notice.
They're like, it's not bad that you choked her to death. It is bad that you masturbated while you were doing it.
John's sick mind. John is definitely a sick serial killer mind. First time I heard John like do comedy, I go, this dude's pretty sick.
Oh no! Wow, dude,
I really did.
I was
really
so horrible for
Dude,
so long. Oh
bro,
my
when
god!
you first started, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
this dude's fucking dark, bro. What is up with
I
this dude, bro? Is he
know,
like
it's
a
horrible.
fucking? He's dark. Like you.
Well,
you
that's-
well, no, but I have to say I'm guilty because when I first came on,
Dude.
the first set
Your
I did,
first stuff, right?
I came off, and I'll never, dude. Crowd going crazy and tells, ah, everybody's still clapping and this, and I just look at one person in the crowd. I'm just walking straight, and it's my mother, and she has the death look on my, just straight into my eyes.
She didn't enjoy the set.
And she goes, "You said the F word 17 times."
Oh no, she ticked it down.
And she just, like, all the high that you have just boom to the ground. Like, she goes, "Why were you cussing so much?" Well, I was so nervous. You know what I mean? I'm nervous. And I told her I was nervous. I was scared,
Oh, yeah, for
Because when
sure.
I first started, I'm like, oh my God, dude, every other word. Like, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
But that's, and we learn. I still throw it out there here and there, but. You're like, yeah, they're fucking,
Isn't it great when you see someone do that and you're like, he got nervous.
Oh, yeah.
He's all this fucking thing,
Dude,
and then I was
these
fucking over
days-
there, but then fucking what the fuck, bro?
I've seen local comics tell the crowd, "Fuck you guys, man," and walk off. And I'm like,
okay.
whoa. I've seen that a few times. I'm like, wow. I guess I never did that.
No, I think that's.
Yeah, everybody has their moments in the sun, and comedy is, that
It's
when
a
you're
strange journey.
when you're bombing, you're crashing, you're forgetting, you're just there, and your body starts to shiver like you're in a freaking coffin, feeling like you're dead because you're like, what is the next joke that I'm gonna tell that's gonna suck? Like the one I just said that people are just like, look, it is. Dude, like Jerry Seinfeld said, people would rather be in the coffin than give the eulogy.
Well, it's so unnatural to want that attention focused on you, to be like, I'm saying this, and you're not even like leading them towards a goal. You're just sharing your vision with them.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty interesting thing that people have to be engaged for. But the cool thing is that we're all attuned to it. Like people, they love stories and they love hearing something and trying to figure out the next thing. And so that's, if you're good at that part of it, and it's taken me so long to even get some sort of traction on knowing how to go that direction. But as you get older and you keep doing it, you kind of get like a feel for it. And that's an interesting part too, you know.
Do you feel like you're in your prime when you did that Vernon set? You had it down. Do you know what I mean? I've learned, dude. I've had every Chicano Latin king you can think of. Tell me, dude, all of them: George, Paul, Carlos Mencia, Gabriel, Joey Medina, Alex Raimundo. Dude, what the hell? You know what I mean? They rage me in a different way.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Slow down. Like, you know, George Lopez told me to slow down. Paul told me, hey, dude, you need to. He goes, bro. He goes, let him laugh. Calm down, bro. And George told me, dude, you did 25 minutes of comedy in 8 minutes. Calm down, you know. He goes, dude, what the hell was that? And I go, no, you told me to do 8 minutes, right? And he goes, yeah, but bro, you did like 25 minutes in 8 minutes. Because I was like, well, dude. This is Kiva Auditorium opening up for George Lopez. Shit don't happen every day. Well, you know, it was just the rush of the 8 minutes, bro.
How do you balance that out? Because you want to be constantly attacking, is what I've heard, is you want to constantly attack them, but you also want to be like leave room for the joke to breathe if you get a good response, right?
If you see,
and then there's also laughs per minute, which is a big thing, you know.
Dude, I love the dude, bro, and he's one of my great friends, our friends, Kurt Fletcher. Mm-hmm. How Kurt just stands there and just takes his time. He gets me so.
That's good for him,
dude.
But I
know, but
I
I'm
would
like,
be moving around.
Yes, but you know, me and you have to move. And Kurt, I'm like, dude, Kurt he's like,
he's amazing.
Go trick or treating at the Alzheimer's Center every night. You know, just stays quiet, and I'm like, wow. You know, but and Dave Chappelle, you know, you have people that could stay still, and you know, like you hear Tom Segura and you hear Nate Bargatze, and they just kind of just say their joke and then just kind of calm. And Nate doesn't really cuss. Have you heard Nate Bargatze cuss?
I haven't seen it.
He's a clean guy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because when I went to go see him live here at Rio Rancho, I was like, dude, he didn't even say one cuss word. And I go, and there was a lot of, you know, older people, their family, friends, or whatever. And I thought about it. And I said, wow, I've never heard the dude cuss. So that's another hard thing. You know what I mean? Jerry Seinfeld, there's certain comics. Not cussing and being hilarious, that's another talent that not a lot of people have.
Well, I always wanted to be true and real and just like, this is who I am, warts and all. But then, ain't no warts and all. But then I was like, you know, people don't want to see that. You're not fucking, they're not there for you to bare your soul to them. Like, if you want to do that as an artist, that's your fucking defect. No. But what they did come out for is to hear some jokes. They didn't come for an exploration of your soul. They came out, or to discuss your insecurities in a mildly funny way. They came out for you to make them laugh and entertain them. They want to identify. They want to maybe be converted on a couple of things that they haven't thought about or they haven't thought through, and they're like,
things
oh,
they
that's
didn't want to think
interesting.
about.
Yeah, like anal warts. And then you also want them to, above all else, be like, whoa, that was a good time. That's like the top thing, because the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? We just want humans to have a positive experience. Yeah. And if you're going to go out and be base and be horrible and, you know, entertain people that way, but the older I get, the harder it is to delve into those thoughts, and the more it is about, hey, we all find this funny. Hey, I find this funny. Maybe you'll think it's funny if I examine it with you, you know. Yeah. instead of being like, this is funny, and if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. What you think is funny to you isn't funny to other people. And a lot of people make that mistake. They go up there and they go, yeah, bro, I was sitting on the couch the other day, bro, and I was laughing at this, and I was like, whoa.
And I farted on my cat.
Yeah, and they're like, that might have been funny to you in the moment. What does that have to do? You know, yeah, you can.
Where's the identification
yes,
here?
just because it's funny to you doesn't mean it's going to be funny to other people. And another thing, when you were talking about that, you made me think about how, you know, you build your character, you build your you know, moving the microphone, walking back and forth, putting. Another one was Paul Rodriguez told me, bro, you need to make sure your jokes, you know, mesh together. Yeah. He goes, bro, you went from talking about the airlines to talking about big boobs. He goes, dude, at least. And he was the one that told me, like, he goes, yeah, man. And then when I was leaving the plane, there was this ruca. She had some big, you know, the stewardess had some big old
find a tie-in.
And I go, oh, yeah. So, well, this was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And I learned from the top ones so young at the beginning. So I was lucky to be able to be in the radio and say, like, I'm going to go, you know, these guys would come to the station. I'm like, oh, I'm a stand-up comedian. I just started, you know. They're like, come and do 5-10 minutes. And that's how I got a lot of openings with many different comedians. I got very lucky, very blessed, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like because you got these opportunities, you better be helping everybody else.
Yeah.
As much as you can. That's why I do Vernon's. That's why I've done all the shows. I've taken you guys to Taos. Anywhere I can do anything to help all of you guys, because I feel like, hey, you got that chance. You've gotten that help. Help as much as you can. And I actually really get a kick out of that, man. Because I'm like, because I want other people to feel what I have felt and how lucky I've gotten.
Well, it's a good camaraderie, and that's part of the scene building. That's why, you know, when someone's like, do you know, and I think about this a lot, because one of sounds good, a beer. Yeah. Because one of the people that I first started talking about with this, cheers to you, homie.
Cheers, my brother. Is Alan's.
To you too, buddy.
I'm good.
He recently quit drinking.
Oh, you did?
But still drinks alcohol. That's one of my jokes. I used to tell that joke, and people would be so disgusted. Give it up for me! I quit drinking.
That's what and they're like,
yay! Showing them your coin. Showing your coin.
Yes, exactly.
That's like all hilarious.
But I was talking with Zach Abeda, and then it happened a few years back, and then I was talking with someone else, a newer comic, and they were relating to me that you know, they were talking with someone, and they're like, oh yeah, John Cuellar, we're good friends. I know that guy. He's super cool. And then it was like a periphery acquaintance who's not even comedy.
Yeah.
And we had these good things to say about each other when we were talking about each other.
Nice.
And I thought about, what if you were an asshole and you just hated Zach, and you hated everybody that was younger than you and better than you, and just like had more success.
Cool.
And what if I was just a dick about it, and people would be like, oh, you know John Cuellar? Yeah, he's a fucking asshole, dude. And I was like, God damn, that would suck so bad.
Well, you never know if anybody thinks that. Like,
well, there's 5 people that say that.
Yeah.
But I'm just kidding.
And sometimes I'm like, hey, you know, to me, my haters are my motivators. I would respect you more if you're like, dude, I just fucking can't stand you, animal, man. You just don't shut the fuck up. And I don't like that you do this, and I don't like that you do that. And you just, dude, you're just
it's
whatever.
Hard.
You know, you're like, all right, cool.
It's
you know,
hard to find.
I won't bother you. I won't help you. I won't get in your way, man. You do you, and congratulations on all your success, man, and good luck.
That's so weird, right?
Well, I can do that. Because I don't let anybody, you know, affect me like that. Because you can't. And you have to have rhinoceros skin because you have to be tough. You have to be tough. You have to be very strong, John.
You do.
I tell you, Hans and Franz.
Oh, dude.
You have to be. You know what it's. We cannot. You know, I remember freaking when we went, the first time I saw all you guys, it was crazy. It was, damn, I swear it was like by Ultimate Electronics, bro. We did a freaking bar there, like on Manal. And it was
it's a dispensary now,
yes,
right?
it was like you It was AJ Martinez's first gig.
Oh, yeah.
And he had his notes and
Kurt
he's like,
Fletcher.
bro, and AJ would say a joke and it was freaking hilarious. And then he'd be like, that joke sucks. And oh man, I suck. And this sucks. And that sucks. And this whole set sucks. And I'm like, dude, you were freaking hilarious. That was what made it more funny because he kept just putting himself down. And he just was so nervous and he was reading his notes and it was freaking hilarious. And I thought he was, I was like, this dude has it. And then Joe Quesada was there. You were there. Kurt Fletcher. I got up and it was cool. And Luis Powell was there.
Do you remember Cole Black was coming around that time?
Oh, damn, man.
There was
a couple
of
some
dudes. HBO stuff. Or
there was
Max stuff. But
there was dudes that came around that we haven't seen for a while, man.
Yeah, just like people that would come through Albuquerque periodically and be like, oh, that guy's got some creds,
Yeah. And it's good to have creds, Everybody has. Who would you say is your best cred there, John?
Oh shit!
Who was your
Cream Pie
luckiest
Kathy
gig?
I have over how many views?
Between two videos, about 140,000.
140,000 views. Talking about this woman named Cream Pie Kathy who fucks a bunch of guys and lets them come in her pussy. Around across country. I'm so sorry if any of your relatives are listening to this.
And I just thought about that's crazy. But it's a podcast. It's all out, man. That's what we do. That's what it's about. You have to push that envelope.
Well, I would never say this. This is the only place I would ever say this, basically.
Well, you can say whatever you want. I mean, that's another thing I got to watch because it reflects on it. I have to watch that whole reflection thing, you know what I mean? Because, I'm on the radio, I'm in the public eye. They're like, oh my God, Animals talking about, big tits and pussies and dicks and whatever,
pissed.
you know what I mean? Yes, over there. He said pissed at the comedy club or, at a party. But then, on the air, I have to be, it's just different, because I have mothers with their kids cruising around Albuquerque listening to me, or families, or young women, or old women, or young kids, or, it just depends. It just depends on the person themselves. So, but radio is radio. But there's that other time where they're like, oh my God. Just like, basically Bob Saget. I have to be the Full House dude, and then I can be the motherfucker that gets crazy. Because when I saw Bob Saget at Laugh Factory, I was like, that's Tanner.
I love how many people he walked from his shows because they didn't expect that, right?
I could not believe the words that were coming out of his mouth, and I was just like, because you knew him as that dad, the Tanner dad, and he was Full House, and he had the twin daughters, and I just, it was mind blowing because you don't think, you're like, wow, I've never heard this dude ever talk like that. It was like that was his character off stage.
Well, and what's
and
important.
They're like, dude, Bob's crazy, bro. People would tell me, I was like, shit.
What's more important now, even more important than the Epstein death, we need to find out what the fuck happened to Bob Saget. Are you telling me Bob Saget just slipped in the fucking shower and then he laid down in bed and he died in bed? That's some fucking bullshit, dude.
You don't think a girl gave him some pills and fucking killed him?
I don't know what the fuck happened.
He used to have all the hoes with him and he'd be partying and doing
really?
drugs. Yeah, he was.
Do you think they cleared out his stuff and kind of did a little
something
scrubbing of his legacy?
They just said he fell, hit his head, and that was it, right?
Yeah, they said he fell, hit his head in the shower, thought nothing was wrong, and then he laid down and died, right?
I thought he was dressed or something, like he just...
In the shower?
But if you're...
not in the shower.
But after.
Hit his head, got dressed, laid on the bed and died.
No one's going to let the elevator take us down. No, let's go. Dude, Prince died in the elevator.
Did he?
Yes. They found him in his elevator.
No, you never want to die between floors.
No.
Where does your soul go?
Isn't that crazy,
Your soul just haunts the mid-level.
There's all these, these people that die, and you're like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
They died, just in that. It's some kind of eerie shit that they said or they did or they
I want to know what Betty White was hiding because she wanted her house. She wanted her house demolished once she died.
Oh, really?
She's like, this
Really?
was my home. I don't think
Destroy
that's
it.
the reason.
Yeah, dude.
There were sex chambers there.
How old was
it was
Betty?
like H.H.
Betty
Holmes.
White was 178 when she died, or how old was she?
Well, she didn't die. She just laid down and disappeared like Yoda.
Dehydrated for the winter.
Someone turned on the fan and she
You are
just
500 years better yet. You once out.
Right.
Yeah, like Yoda with
Dick my
Skywalker.
suck. Do not talk shit.
Strong with your father he is. Your father he is.
Oh man.
What?
Dude, those original. You know what's crazy about Star Wars is we grew up with the classics, bro.
Favorite movie ever, John? I just have to ask.
Ever?
One movie, and you too, brother. You got to tell me, Alan 90, whatever the fuck his name is.
You say it first, Alan.
My favorite of the Star Wars?
No. Your favorite movie of all time. You only get to pick one. And think of music, too. You only get to pick one artist. If I were to say, hey, you're on a fucking island, you have to pick a meal, you have to pick an artist, and you have to pick a movie, and that's all you're going to watch for the rest of your fucking life. That's just how I put it, because I'm curious. I'm a huge fan of music, movies, and food. So, shit. That's that,
This is a bullshit answer, but I really enjoy the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So just all three, right?
All three. Because it's all one story, counts as one thing. They were all made at the same time. I call that one movie since they couldn't just release 9 hours at a time.
I keep watching those fuckers every 3-4 months.
Right?
That's what I
am.
Yeah.
I have a Lord of the Rings addiction, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Rocky, Karate Kid, all these fucking movies. I'm like, dude, you've seen them. Back to the Future 1,000 times. Watch something else, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know what I mean?
What do you
So what's yours?
Oh, my favorite movie is probably, I'm trying to think of right now.
You said Fellowship or you said Return?
If it had
or it's
to be
the whole thing.
if the trilogy.
Okay,
if it had to,
so the
if it had to be
trilogy,
one, I would say
Just Return to the King, dude.
Two Towers because of the Battle of Helm's
You're like
Deep.
my brother.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is
Two Towers.
that one's the least favorite of mine, and I don't.
Never forget,
Well,
right?
The extended
I
edition,
don't know.
it saves
Yeah?
it. It makes
Really?
it more of a story. You don't see Sauron just
get all
disappear.
demolished and all
no,
that
you
shit.
see
Yeah,
him
just-
get killed.
What about
Oh,
that?
good. Oh, wow. Shit, I need to watch
they talk
that then.
shit while he's up at the tower,
Oh,
and then
good.
they shoot him with an arrow.
Oh, good.
Brad
Yeah,
Dourif
good.
stabs him, and he falls down and gets
He
impaled.
falls like
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
good.
right.
He's on like the other dude that was a Return of the King of fell on fire off the freaking Miris Tirith or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
What were you? Who was the guy you were talking about in Lord of the Rings?
Which one?
The first
All the actors are like 100 and
Saruman.
fucking
Saruman.
Christopher
No. The Two Towers.
Yeah.
Don't you love that? My favorite guy in that whole movie is the big slow guy, the big
Treebeard?
dumb slow
Treebeard.
goblin that they have hold the big bomb, and he just
dude, he is
bomb.
pretty
Yeah.
wicked. But the dude from Fellowship, brother, the
Oh,
first
yeah.
guy goes,
Yeah.
Sauron. That dude that's all freaking built.
Is that
and
the-
he has the bow and arrow, and he's trying to take out Homeboy at the end.
Is that the one where the rock comes flying towards him and he just
out
stands
of the way.
there and he steps out of the way?
He goes, don't move from your head. And then he goes, no, that dude's an ugly motherfucker, man. That one's like the worst orc, no?
Yeah.
That one, yeah. But John, what is the favorite?
Favorite movie of all time? I probably have to say right now, because it fluctuates, but right now it's probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just because
with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, just because of the cinematography.
Wow. The ashtray alone.
What's that?
The ashtray.
Oh, yeah. right.
Fucking ashtray.
Exactly.
You're like,
dude.
yeah. Just
Well,
even that. You're like, that's real.
My
That shit
favorite,
is-
my favorite stuff is the scenes, the way they set the shot for him driving. Mm-hmm. You know, because you get a perfect shot of this cool motherfucker driving down the road, and that's how we all envision ourselves when we're in like fucking cruise mode,
yeah,
right?
Hollywood.
We're just like, I'm just fucking cruising
Beat up
down the road,
Honda
bro.
Civic.
Yeah, dude. No matter what the fuck you're driving, you're just that cool dude at a moment in time. I was like, yeah, everybody feels like that from time to time, but they're just the older I get, the bigger a fan I become of cinematography. I mean, it's basically, if you love pictures, well, fucking moving pictures, bro. Like, this picture fucking moves and progresses and changes into something else. And that's something I'm, like, really completely amazed by. I'm still delving into it and exploring it. And I know very little about it, but that's the exciting thing is there's so many great artists out there. You watch any movie that you're a fan of and you'll catch something that you're like...
Every single time is my favorite movie.
Oh, okay. What's that about?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, gotcha.
With Gene Wilder.
Sure.
Every fucking time I see it, I find something new. And it is phenomenal because Gene Wilder, you think Blazing Saddles, you think Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor.
We bad.
Young Frankenstein. And he was phenomenal in those movies.
Yeah.
But to me, it just because he was talking all these different languages, he was adding all these languages. Go, goodbye, Mrs. Gloop. Gesundheit. Avida say farewell, and just all this shit that he's using all these different voices, and he just he's like, wait, stop, come back, talking to the spoiled ass American kid that's like, shut up, mother, you stupid bitch, I got the ticket and shut up, and at the end of the day, he's testing the poor kid, which is Charlie, to win the whole chocolate factory, but he has to make sure he can trust him. And that's what the whole gobstopper thing is. But every time you see it, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even snap that. Like the Oompa Loompas, the scenes, the magic to it, the things that you don't think would happen. Wait, the room's getting bigger. No, it's not. He's getting smaller. All these things.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
dude.
you know what I mean? It's just, and then of course, that one's the first one. The new one with
Johnny Depp.
No. That one's the middle one.
Timothy
Chalamet. That one's the second one, and then Johnny's the third.
Oh,
that one's
okay.
in order for me.
Yeah,
But
Wonka prequel.
I heard
Gene Wilder,
that
you just see this magic, dude. To when you see it, you're like, oh, what the hell? I'm gonna be the first person sent through television. There's futuristic shit in the 70s in that now that's literally true. Like that. You're what the hell?
Well,
wow.
And with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Like one thing I read is that the kids didn't know, like they weren't privy to the boat scene, how he was going to deliver that, and so a lot of
the chocolate factory when they walked in.
How do you keep the ants out?
Yeah, when he yelled at Charlie, Charlie did not know he was going to go that crazy.
That's
you
so cool.
bumped into a ceiling that now has to be washed, so you get nothing. You lose, and the kids all like, holy shit, is this Gene Wilder being an asshole, or is he acting?
Right.
And he said, I hated putting him through that, but I had to so I could get the natural reaction from him, because if he knew, he hadn't seen me throw a fit. He hadn't seen me being an asshole in the movie. So when he did that, he had
There's
to,
a realism to
yes,
it.
a realism to it. He goes,
Similar to
Charlie, you
Kubrick's
did
method
it.
of
You won.
Shelley Duvall.
By the way,
Absolutely
Shelley
fucking
Duvall
crazy.
is fucking hot, right?
Yes,
I
the
definitely
Shining,
hit
the
the
Shining, and then
yes,
Popeye.
Popeye. Yeah, Shelley Duvall
Yeah.
and Popeye.
Dude, she just passed away, man.
Yeah.
And like Robin and her, bro, that was magic, dude.
That was.
Pluto and the fake octopus and all that stuff. Remember the whole movie?
Dude, that's-
I mean, we had to deal with
They
fake
still have
sharks
that
and octopuses.
set out there.
And, dude,
Like you can visit that set in
Really?
California on the
Wow.
coast. Yeah. That's
dude,
pretty
she was
nuts.
phenomenal in that Shining, bro, with Jack Nicholson.
I think I've
That-
gone to that
Here's
set.
Johnny.
To the California set
Yeah.
with Popeye.
Yeah, is it like San Diego or something?
What's that?
Is it like San Diego
Right
or
around
something?
that area.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think
Do you remember Dave Coulier from Full House? It was like another comedian who happened
Yeah.
to be on that show.
That was, and he would do the.
He
would do
had
all that,
Popeye voices.
Voices.
And one of his bits was like, one time I was listening to Popeye, to like the mumbling, and he was like, "Aha, ga, 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 you got no tits anyhow."
And now, that's.
Alanis Morissette blew him.
Dude,
Right in a theater, sucked his load down. Says it in a song, right? Right? Am I right?
And I hope you think of her when you
Right?
You're thinking
Exactly.
of me when you
And you have, like Dave Coulier just all, what the fuck is this song about? I haven't seen this bitch in like 10 years, right? That's so odd.
Very Pee Wee Herman of you, bro.
What are
Man,
we
that's
at,
so crazy.
Alan?
And then I was gonna tell Alan, he needs to take me and you, John, to New Zealand, bro, and go see the set of the fucking Lord of the Rings,
Dude,
bro.
the Shire.
How badass would that be to go see that whole? You know what I mean?
Go find some hobbit holes.
It's in New Zealand and all
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
That'd be dope. Just to go to New Zealand in general too,
hike
man.
those crazy ass mountains.
Yes.
Have you been overseas? Have you ever
I
been?
didn't. Dude,
I've never been.
I've just went to Cabo. That's the farthest out of the country I've ever been. I've been to Juarez and Tijuana for, to make my porns,
Yeah.
but no. No, I've only been in Tijuana and Juarez, dude.
Yeah.
That's out of the country. I went to Hawaii and to Alaska, but that doesn't count because that's United States.
That's
but
still
it's
a
kind
trip,
of still
yeah, sure.
out.
Alan's
Hawaii
a
was
fan
out.
of Hawaii. It's
Alaska
like
was far.
5,000 miles.
Yeah,
That's
it's still,
considerable.
yes,
Yeah.
it's out of the country, bro. So it was beautiful out there, but
We stole it.
but going to another continent,
Yeah.
Asia, Africa, Europe. I want to go
Epstein's
to Italy.
That's a
Mariah
continent.
Carey
Right?
and Epstein's Island. But Italy. I would love to go to Italy. I would love to go to the Caribbean. I would love to go to New Zealand. I like the whole Polynesian culture. You know what I mean? The whole
for sure.
all that. It's pretty dope. So where would you want to go? You could pick. You could fly right now.
Probably
on Diddy's jet.
Yeah, right. On Epstein and Diddy
Got
co-jet.
all lubed up.
You're right. You can ride my jet, but you just have to be completely lubed up.
Yep.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I'd go to Greece. I'd look at
cool.
some of those historical sites, and then I'd go to Rome.
Yeah.
Those would be my 2 top
Yeah,
destinations.
you got the Colosseum, you got the Vatican, you got the history, you got the castles, dude. To me, it's all old, because you don't want to go to Europe. It's all old. Somebody said that in a movie, I can't remember. But
well, that's the novelty for us. Everything in America is 400 years old.
Yeah.
To see something where man has existed in civilization for thousands of years,
dude.
For 2,000 years, at least.
That
to me is
Rome. You hit it. Rome, but Greece. When you said Greece, my friend
Diddy loves Greece. Favorite place to visit.
So the diddler. So you have that was another thing with the movies like Greece, when you'd watch like Clash of the Titans and all these 7 voyages of Sinbad, and they showed all those badass Mediterranean Jason and the Argonauts in Greece. I was like, I like Greek mythology, and going to Greece, that'd be dope. So I give you a lot of props on that, because to see see something different, bro. We've been in the desert for fucking hate. Fuck.
Well,
one mountain, one fucking river, 2 interstates. How do we not, dude? I only lose my mind when I'm flying back, and I'm looking, and I'm all one mountain, 1 river, 2 interstates. Just pretend you don't live here. I mean, I love New Mexico. I do 505. I do with all my heart.
Oh yeah, dude.
But I think it's just because after a while you're like, damn, you know what? I need to go see the world. You can never see the whole world in your whole fucking lifetime, I'm sure. But imagine going to each continent, at least in your life, going to Antarctica even, and going to each continent, saying I've been on all 7 continents. That'd be freaking dope. So you know what I mean? I think it can be done. I think it can be done. You just gotta put your mind to it and your potential of your bank account.
Yeah, that's
for me.
Save up, bro.
Yeah, for me, it would be the Antarctica trip.
Yeah, so we want to know.
Which includes the terrifying trip through the Drake Passage, which is the roughest seas you can possibly go through.
Is that when those fuckers drive trucks on? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the Drake Passage is down near Antarctica, where it's like super choppy water, super stormy seas, and it's like you're basically confined to your cabins and on a tilt the whole time.
Holy shit! That's your dream trip.
Well, to get to the icy thing to watch penguins poop on each other, yeah. Because you want to see that stuff before it gets too accessible to other people and spoiled by advertising.
Yeah,
that's the only
Alaska.
The undiscovered
Cool
country, like Alaska, or but that Antarctica would be the one that's not all freaking,
Yeah,
it's
That's
still
a real adventure.
Yes, real adventure of Aurora. What is it? Aurora Borealis, man. Jesus,
we were close.
Let's go. Well, New Mexico education at its best.
Oh, you're amazing, dude.
Comedy, bro. How long have you been doing it, John? How long have you been in it, bro?
I'm almost embarrassed to say, but at least 2005, 2006.
So
2006. So
18 years.
So 18 years, yeah.
Yeah, because let's see, 2000. Okay, I started on Kiss in 2003, so I was thinking, okay, that's 21 years already.
Dude.
Yeah, so, but starting in '98, the thing is like I've done radio and background work and extra work on movies and doing comedy the whole time. So my career is kind of like a stretch of comedy. You know what I mean? But imagine being a comedy where like the guys, man, the way they perform all damn week, every day, or the touring comedians, like the national headliners that are just like 3, you know what I mean? Like I went on a tour one time and it was just like, oh my
Not to interrupt,
God.
I have to pee or I'm going to piss. You guys carry on and I'll be right back. I'm an older man. And my
John has to go. Diddy himself, man. It's crazy. But Alan, so that whole Antarctica, where did that come up in your mind?
Well, there's there's videos on TikTok of people being on the Drake Passage, and it's terrifying, choppy seas that are stormy clouds for days at a time. But you get through to it, and it's like absolute pristine ice, pristine water. You get
what are the chances of survival? Do they have like
More
a
than
percentage of like, yes, like, dude, you go on this trip, you know you might not come back.
Yeah, there's definitely waivers. There's a waiver.
Yeah, you tell them, hey, dude, you know you can't, you go now, you're done, dude. You know,
Yeah,
there's a 80% possibility you ain't coming back. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's treacherous. You know, you gotta have these icebreaker class ships that can break through. You know, even when it's supposed to be summertime down there, you still have to break through some stuff.
And what's the point of all that shit? Breaking icebergs, just putting yourself in danger,
showing nature that we've overcome it.
Are you trying to help global warming? What the hell?
No, that's definitely a detriment.
What is the, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
I think
purely
there's
selfish. So in my view,
Yeah?
it's purely selfish because I'm not gonna have any fucking kids. I have no legacy to actually pass down. So it's not like I'm gonna go out and do all this crazy stuff, but what I am going to do is going to be fun because the carbon footprint difference of having kids versus not having kids, I can afford a vacation
How old
or
are
two
you?
that way. I'm 32.
Okay, so these days people don't want to get married, they don't want to have kids, they just
who's
kind of
paying for it? Who's contributing?
Dude, I know, isn't that crazy, John? We're talking about how he's 32 and I say he doesn't want to have kids, so there's no Alan legacy.
Well,
after
I'm also
that.
not nurturing.
He's not.
Oh, yeah.
But no family, no kids, or you're just saying that for now?
No, that's absolute.
Wow, for life ever.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't even say bless you when you sneeze, so I
Yeah.
don't think he's
Bastard!
the greatest.
You selfish bastard!
I think the
You
kid,
narcissistic fuck!
exactly. The baby in Requiem for a Dream has a better chance than Alan's baby. We'll be all standing around the fucking a baby walking on the wall, right? Isn't that what it does? Walks on the wall, turns
It's
its
good
head
times,
around.
bro. Good times. I like
Yeah.
talking to new people and listen to their whole thoughts of what. Like I said, okay, so now that was movie. What about album?
Now, real quick, I'm gonna have to go back to two of these movies: Requiem for a Dream.
Dream. I heard you say that. Yep.
Which is that the one with the baby, or is it Train Spotting? Because there's
Trainspotting is the one you're
Train
referring to.
Spotting.
Neither
has-
never seen either of those movies.
Really? Well, in
Never.
In Train Spotting, they just forget to feed a baby, but they don't forget their heroin. That's for sure. Right, Alan? Is that basically
So it's
what it comes down?
pretty crazy movie, that one. I've probably seen scenes, but I never sat down and said, I'm gonna watch Train Spotting. Now I will.
It's-
and Requiem for a Dream or whatever the hell.
It's so dark. Train Spotting is so dark that
But in
they
a charming way.
filmed it in a way that's disarming of the darkness. Like, you can seriously watch it and be like, look, Ewan McGregor's at the lowest point of his life, and he's laughing, and he just got tackled by the cops, and it's hilarious because of the way they filmed it,
yeah.
But then you have Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem.
Requiem for, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
What is
But-
Requiem? We got to look
Alan,
that up.
A
You're
requiem
Requiem.
is a type of music, type of classical music. A requiem is like
requiem,
it's
like
like a
Mozart.
funeral song.
Oh,
A
okay.
Requiem like an organ?
Yeah, it's like a funeral song. Yeah.
Requiem. And as a, you know what I mean?
rec
Like, so the
room where you
music
have, like,
person,
pool
I like
tables.
Requiem. Like, the orchestra will now perform a Requiem. What? For a dream. You're like, what the fuck
And
is
in
that?
that
I mean,
movie-
dude, and as you get older, I'll tell you this, I'm guilty of this. Did I spell that fucking right? Spell it, or what is that? What the shit does that mean? I mean, I probably remembered that, not now, but what is the description of
Yeah,
that,
it's
dude?
a mass for a deceased person, a musical composition for a mass.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Now
Requiem.
we shall perform the Requiem for John Quayle.
And didn't
I
Mozart
don't want-
write his own requiem song for himself as
Mozart
he was dying?
as he was dying.
Yeah,
really?
he was finishing.
Oh yeah, you're
something,
right.
yeah.
He's like, remember the movie? He's fucking dying. Well, he's like, oh, like,
Salieri's like,
Yeah.
more, faster, come on, keep
I'm gonna
doing
take
it.
all the credit.
yeah, he was dying when he was doing like they show him. You know, that's crazy. The movie. But so, what was that about? The Requiem for a Dream.
It's a dark heroin movie, so it's like you have Train Spotting, which is so dark, but it's filmed in a way that it's like not as dark. It disarms you, and you can kind of process the horrible shit that happens. Like there's a baby that dies in the crib because they forget to feed it. And
Requiem for a Dream's more just traumatizing.
yeah, Requiem for a Dream is like people having heroin delusions and withdrawal delusions. And like Marlon Wayans, this is one of Marlon Wayans' fucking greatest performances. Marlon Wayans, comic actor, one of the Wayans brothers. We grew up with the Wayans brothers watching all that shit. Yep. And he ends up, does he get his arm amputated or does he die?
I think it's amputated.
He wakes up and then he's like,
I haven't seen it.
Doesn't have his arm anymore and his friend's dead next to him. And he's like, more or less.
So that's some dark shit.
Yeah, but it's a great movie.
The Wayans are coming out with their scary movie, another scary movie. They're back, they're kind of talking. And it's crazy because I was watching Raw the other day. I just literally watched Eddie Murphy Delirious, and I watched Raw just.
I thought you were talking about wrestling.
But Raw, true. But then it said writers Keenan Ivory Wayans wrote with Eddie, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. They were they were friends, and he helped him with Raw, and I was like, holy
Hollywood
shit.
Shuffle.
Yes. So you think who's the dude from Hollywood Shuffle?
Robert
Townsend. Townsend. Yeah, exactly. So these dudes were
they were all coming up around that time.
They were coming up and they were writing and they were coming up with those scripts and then they did In Living Color. He did most of the movies that like the scary movies. Quick, Don't Be a Menace to Society.
You remember
while drinking your
Hollywood
juice
Shuffle
in the hood.
With Mr. Batty, the guy who played the Batty, and their Hollywood Shuffle is about this young guy trying to make it famous. And it kind of plays on the tropes of Hollywood.
Yep.
Like they have a bunch of different things that you get if like you've tried to make it in the business, like inside things. But also it talks about this just the tropes in general in entertainment. And so there's this part. Yeah. There's
Hollywood
this
Shuffle.
part.
There's Robert Townsend. This dude is
Keenan Ivory.
Yeah, Keenan Ivory Wayans, dude. He was the oldest brother, so he was. Then you had Damon. And then you had Marlon, and then you had, and even the sister. There was even sisters.
Yeah.
So in this movie, they work at Winky Dinky Dog, and
I forgot that.
I would definitely say I recommend to watch this because it still holds up.
Dog.
Yeah, and there's this part where they have this like famous black actor who's like made it big, and they're all impressed and like in awe of him. And he walks up, and they're like, "Wow, you're such an inspiration to our community." And he's like, And they're like, well, at least you don't do drugs. And his handlers come up and they're like, don't mention drugs, especially not coca freebase unless he got some. And they're like, oh, okay.
Dude, what's one of my favorites from Keenan, bro, is I'm going to get you, sucker.
That's a great
dude,
movie.
when he goes, man, the people need you, man. And he goes, the people need me? It was the people that said I was too violent, a bad influence for the kids, so fuck the people. And he's like, I'm retired now. He everything he said that he was acting like.
Is that the guy who stacks himself with all that fucking
he
weapons,
OG'd.
Dude?
He overgolded.
And then he falls down and he just
OGs
shoots
instead
himself.
of ODs. He OGs. He goes, man, how did he go to the bathroom with all this shit on? He was like overgolded, but she goes, he's dead. Can't you hear the music? Just the shit in like the movies, like Hot Shots. Naked Gun. Yeah. Where I'm just laughing. You know what I watched the other day? National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon with Samuel Jackson and Emilio Estevez.
We were talking about that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Loaded Weapon, and it was like making fun of frickin' Mel Gibson and frickin' Danny Glover.
When they shoot that guy out of the convenience store and he keeps falling and flying?
I think he's flying. But I like when he's smoking the cigarette by the ocean and he goes like that and he goes.
Or when they pull up and they shoot, like they just riddle that trailer with bullets.
Yeah.
And then fucking
and
Bruce Willis comes out and he's like, hey.
So, what the hell's wrong with you? And he goes, this is 34 or 55 Malibu Drive. He goes, no, this is 3850. He goes, oh, sorry, my mistake.
It's like, yeah.
But that's so hilarious of the shit that you're like, oh my. And they even did the toilet scene where Samuel Jackson is on the toilet. Remember all that shit? Like, yeah, that was
awesome.
And then Kathy Ireland, I'm so cold. And she has ice on her legs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's all the freaking hilarious parts where he's kicking and he's in the air and he's doing these karate moves. Just all those movies, man. I think that when I see all these movies and I see Mike Myers and I see Jim Carrey and I see Robin Williams, I relate 1,000%. Because a lot of people, even family, friends, girlfriends, have told me, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Like, why are you saying this? Or why are you acting like this? Or like, I'm always constantly doing something. Like, I'll just start reciting something in the mirror, or I'll just be like outside. I'm like, he goes, this guy is a fucking good fella. What do you think? All these fucking drugs are making your mind in a mush. Like you could tell me a movie, most movies, because there's so many now, but you could tell me a movie and I can tell you a scene from it. I'm pretty good at photographic memory. Like, if you tell me a movie, I can tell you a scene from it. And it has to be, it's not some Dr. Zhivago shit or something.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
I don't even know.
Dude.
Chris Farley and
Yes,
Chris...
let me get, and I literally, it was hilarious. He goes, I must go to the hills of Beverly. And Chris Rock is helping him. He goes, you a ninja? No way, you a ninja? No way. And he goes...
I remember the palm trees being especially flexible.
And then he's all, hey, nice shirt. Who shut the couch? And he's like trying to be like that other dude. I mean, Chris Farley, amazing talents.
Oh, yeah.
Him and John Belushi. So, like, in Animal House, when I would watch these guys, I'm like, dude, these guys make me freaking laugh so hard. And I thought, I know I'm not crazy. I know my mom goes, oh, my God, I only had one of you, man, because I said, I can't. There's only one animal. There's only one Anthony. She goes, I could not. Like, you just did stuff as a kid that just, I couldn't. My mom used to beat the living shit out of me, man. I used to do crazy shit when I was a kid. But I always just, do you feel like you're like that, John? Are you always on a character? Or do you feel like you're playing a character when you're at work? Or you're just on the street? Or somebody, you can pop in a character when you're at the store? Excuse me, and you're talking shit.
I forget which philosopher it was. I think I want to say it was Heidegger, but
the dude from Little Caesars,
or maybe,
that philosopher.
Oh yeah, maybe Mercuse. But there's this thing about how, I'm pretty sure it's Heidegger, about how when you see your waiter and he's your waiter or your server you're like going through the drive-through and it's Burger King or whatever it is, that person in that instance is in that role. That's how we see them. That's how we view them. That's what we want from them.
Yes.
If they were to do something outside of that role, it makes us a little uncomfortable,
Yeah.
Because in that moment, that's what we want from them.
Dude, I got a good example.
Oh, okay. Go with it, buddy.
So there's this, go to PetSmart, go to checkout, get some dog food. Dude's like, is that all you need? I'm like, yeah. He's like, cool, that's all you need. You're gonna be cool going to school. He was a rhyming guy.
Yeah. It was Rusty Rutherford.
Oh, yeah.
Was Rusty working there?
Rusty's good, bro.
He's fucking amazing.
Fucking Rusty killed it at Vernon's. That motherfucker murdered
Here
it.
is Rusty.
Well, yeah.
Like on social media, like as good as I am, like with
he's a New
debating
Mexico
and
Eminem.
This dude is fucking up here with debating people, putting them to shame on the internet, and just trolling them, dude. He's one of the all-timers, right,
Really?
Alan?
Yeah, but to your point is, in that time, you expect this guy's role to just be, all right, you have your rewards number you want to put in, here's your receipt. But yeah, so after everything, he's like, you got a phone number? Nope, cool, no worries, we're going to get you some McFlurries. Like, just everything. He was looking for just creating some bullshit rhyme every time.
I do that
where you're just uncomfortable by it, but like, please just do the job.
I do that. I try to do that on the radio as much as I can, and I know I'm not, but you know what I mean?
But it's not everyday life.
It's not, but you know what? To me, it's such a brilliant talent that you have to, like Eminem read the dictionary to rhyme and to make things rhyme. You know what I mean? And going back to Eminem, that rappers have said, dude, you never thought that a white dude from Detroit would be one of the baddest rappers on the planet.
Yeah.
But he read the dictionary to rhyme and rhyme and rhyme and rhyme and rhyme.
And he's never used the N-word.
Well, yeah, and then it's like,
I would have thrown it out all kinds, dude, and he's never used it once, bro.
He's used it in private.
He used it on one video that they tried to dig up, like where he was back in those days when I saw him. But but the rhyming, like that. I'm like Kiss 97.3, Notorious B.I.G. baby. I was like rhyme.
Kind of like
and
your fingerprint as a DJ.
This earlier. I did a break and I go, man, we're eating sushi, listening to Mamushi, and you gotta shake your tushy. You know what I mean? Like that. Just I think what are the words that come with that rhyme with that word? But
Yeah.
that guy.
But you're not selling dog food.
Well,
This is why people buy on Amazon.
Go to Walgreens. Go to Walgreens on Carlisle and Lomas.
And when I'm done buying crack outside, then I go into the store, and what do?
Go in there and just buy something. Okay. There is a dude there, tall white dude, kind of long hair. He is in that character. He is talking to you. He goes, like you said, he's trying to pass the time, but he's doing like a stand-up set, John. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, dude, are you a comedian? And he goes, no. And I'm like, why don't you do it? You're doing a set here for free? Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, I'm actually working. He's funny. He's funny because he's a smartass. He's like, well, I'm actually working, getting paid on the clock, which you can sign up for the rewards card. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, using all that Jedi mind trick shit on you. And you're like, that shit don't work on me. I'm Jabba the Hutt. That shit don't work on me. So he tries, and I do it with him all the time. But he's like that.
Well,
he's outside of character.
I think some of those traits could outside of what you expect.
Yes.
And what is that? Heidegger calls it transcendent. When you're transcendent, that truly opens up. It fucking blows people's mind. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's always appropriate, but in certain instances, it is.
We were at a wedding in Cabo, and the DJ was he was all right. He just was. He was killing me the whole time. But
what was he doing?
He wasn't doing shit.
Not
just
good.
Playing music, and he's like, and now we have the bride and groom dance. And now the father-daughter dance.
Yeah,
and
there has to be more.
Now we cut the cake, and it was like, and I was like,
we'd like to thank all of you for coming out. Now let's enjoy a special moment with the first-time couple announcing for the very first time.
I'm dancing for the very first. Yes, even you, John.
They didn't pay for inflection.
They paid for monotone.
Yeah, they paid
Would
for
you
delivery.
like the monotone package?
Do you want this loud
or the I give a shit package?
It's a budget wedding.
Do you want this loud fat Chicano, or do you want somebody that's just cool? That's cool. that doesn't talk the whole time. But
we have enthusiastic Chicano or proper speaking Caucasian.
But the bride said, "Will you go ahead and say, like, will you grab the mic and do the whole like shout out and do a whole thing?"
Yeah.
And I grabbed the mic and I'm like, "Oh man, Cabo San Lucas, are you ready, man? We're ready, the DJ Animal." And I just started blah 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 blah. And dude, the DJ was just like that. Did
he offer you a job?
Well, you didn't.
Been like, hey, I'd like to hire you.
The girl, this is an all-inclusive resort. I told her, here's all my numbers. So I was like, hey, you need me to come over here and do some gigs, and I'll come and stay for free and enjoy myself? That'd be badass.
Cool.
That would be awesome. But I didn't snap until I realized that this guy wasn't that dude. Yeah. Some people just aren't that dude. Just like there's comedians, they're just not. They don't. Dude, like Anthony A. told me, dude, Animal Man, you dance, bro. I don't even really dance on the stage. I'd never dance. And I was like, oh yeah, you really? He made me realize that he's not that dude that goes and dances and he does his comedy, but he just does it the way he does it. Mm-hmm. Kurt, you don't see Kurt dancing and jumping up and down and all over the damn stage, So there's certain comics that we overact, and then there's comics that just stay still, or dancers or DJs or whatever. Like you went to a thing where the DJ's not saying a word the whole night, and you're like, wow, this is the best wedding ever. You're like, whoa. That's me. I can't. I'm too much of an extrovert to be like, hey, John, boom, loud. You are too. You're loud. Like, do you come out of character at Richie B's and talk to the customers and they don't even? Whoa, this dude's talented.
Honestly,
they don't know who we are. They don't know who we are.
Sometimes
we're hidden talents.
Sometimes it depends on my fucking mood.
Yeah.
If like I'm in a good, positive mood and a nice frame of mind where I'm like. Like Ellen. It rhymes with melon.
Come down to Richie B's Pizza. Larry Green. What was it?
Come down to Richie B's. You won't see no dick sniff.
It goes just a move of your pizza to Papa Green's Pizza. Was it The Last Dragon? Remember The Last Dragon? Where if I could just move your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza. Yeah, you're all doing that shit. But no, do you?
I think.
Will you say a joke to somebody, or they give you that window?
It depends.
And you say it, and they're like,
It depends. I judge them. And if they're a good human being, I will engage with them. If I judge them to be a poor human being, I will avoid all engagement.
Oh, financially.
Are you a Virgo?
No.
What's your sign?
Aquarius. But actually, it just depends. My mood is so like if I'm in a good mood and I'm like being very egalitarian and I want everybody to be treated fairly and I'm nice and I'm like, hey, I'm this positive frame of mood, which I love to be in, then I'm there to help everybody. I don't give a shit if I'm serving food or if I'm just a dude on the street. I'm here to help you, and I'm glad I can make your day better. And then there's some times when I maybe might not be in the right frame of mind. I'm in my own head too much about something going on in my life. And sometimes I'm not transcendent, and I'm just like, just get this fucking guy's order.
Yesterday was a
be
fucking
very
nightmare,
nice, and then don't do anything extra. Just be very nice, and then get them out of your way. They would never know that I'm not being my full transcendent self. But I think it's a lot to ask someone to do that at every single moment of every single day.
Yeah, even though I can be happy-go-lucky every day, yesterday I was on the rage. People were just...
Was it work, personal,
just one,
or...
Yeah, one guy being condescending, just fucking raging me, man, and I'm just like...
Well, and isn't it funny?
And you know, it takes a lot, but you know, there's still a point where people don't understand that I'm still from the north.
Yeah.
Spots 300. We were raised like survivors in the north. I have been raised tough, you know, and we're like, hey, bro, you need to take down the voice tone a little bit.
You're like me.
Calm down. Because I had to change and be professional here in radio and comedy.
But you still have that spot where you can go into the red.
Yes.
And you try and stay out of that red, right?
Fuck around and find out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I still have that. And that's that. Like, dude, your eyes are red. You need to calm down. And that was yesterday. And it just happened and then happened and then happened. And then I was like, oh my God. I said, I'm going to go home. I'm just going to give these, the kids will cheer me up. I'm going to do all the Halloween stuff and, cheer him up. And then, my girl's like, I need you to take me urgent care. I fell. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go. It was a whole unexpected days. But there's those days that you're just not going to have a good day. Yeah. And you try to turn it around and you try to force it and you try to, change it up and be positive. But there's just those days you can't be, like the way you say you are that cool dude. You're like, hey, thanks a lot, cool, or come on by. You're always friendly. Me and you've always been friendly to each other. We never fucking.
But I guarantee there's been like a day or two in my life where if you would have encountered me, I would have been like, hey, what's up, Anthony? And then that's it.
I've seen you. I've seen you where you're just not in the best mood. You know what I mean? You're just like to yourself.
I'm a comic. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we're shit, dude. If you were to explain a comic, would you think we're all smartasses? Do you think we're all know-it-alls? Do you think we can be assholes? Do you think we're very judgmental? Do you think we're very real? Do you think we're too blunt?
I think
because I've met some fucked up comics and I've met some fucked up artists. And,
I think
I never answered that question when you guys asked me that earlier.
I mean, we're all humans and we all have the.
There's times.
Not very many of us is completely bad or completely good. We have many facets. Even Hitler, you could argue, was not all the way bad.
Okay, Donald.
What the fuck are you talking about?
With his dogs. I mean, he gave his dogs cyanide because he loved them so much. He not only gave his dogs cyanide, but he also shot them. That's how much he loved his dogs. And so what I'm saying is
I always thought you could be in a controversial radio because of your intellect and the way you think. Like you could push the buttons, and you do that on the podcast.
Well,
but I always thought you could be that freaking Stephanopoulos.
Well, we're unveiling potential base podcasts now. It's going to be an all-Trump podcast.
Larry King.
Larry
King, and he could be like that dude that asks the shit that people don't want to answer.
You know what?
You've always had that. You have that intellect. Did you have good grades in school?
How about horrible? How about Chuck? Who was it? Chuck, the guy from Meet the Press.
Chuck Schumer.
No, he's a. I can't think of it. It was a great show. Okay. We could do another 2-hour show, man. We'll have to hang out again. Yes. It was so fucking cool. This is when we do plug Ola. So what gigs do you have coming up? Do you have anything where people can go out and see you? Of course, they can see you or hear you every day on your radio station.
Yeah, so Kiss 97.3. Right? Of course, you can hear me on the afternoon show from 2 to 7, man. And then, of course, we have concerts, we have events, we have remotes, we have places that we go and hang out, and we give away some tickets, we give away some prizes, man. I got a couple things coming up with Kiss 97.3. But then with the comedy side, I actually am going to be at Quesadas on November 14th, 15th, and 16th,
Russell
Thursday,
Peters.
Friday, Saturday. Russell Peters, 5 shows.
That's going to be amazing.
7 and 9:30 shows, man. You have every chance to don't go see me. Go see Russell, man.
Oh, yeah.
The dude
He's
is
an all-timer.
fire. You'll see me, you know what I mean? Like us comics, we hear each other's shit so much. We're like, all right, yeah, that's his bit. You know what I mean? But you got to see Russell Peters, man. And I'm so like pumped up because I'm going to be like, they're just certain comics that can get me on fire and be like,
he's one of the
I
guys
wanna
that
kill,
inspires you.
Yes, inspires me like that because he's done so much. And, so then
So we got Russell Peters, and
Russell
then
Peters, and then I just AJ Leon hit me up today to do the
AJ,
block.
what a good dude.
He's a good kid. He's young.
He is like,
he
oh my God, he's so
and
young and he's so ambitious.
and he's
right?
ambitious. He's like, hey, Animal, you gonna do the block? And he had been asking me, or you gotta come do one of my shows, or come and help me. And
Dude,
he said,
I
I said,
would
of
go
course,
see
I'll
you
help
do
you.
that spot.
So
That
I'm
would
gonna
be
go
awesome.
do the block with him on November 26th. I know that's a Tuesday, so I'm gonna be doing that. He just called me today, and I liked it because I said, "Hey, I'm the dude you call. I'm a call dude, man. You gotta call me. You gotta holler at me, And then on the 6th of December 6th, we're doing the 1-year anniversary for Quesadas.
Hey,
So
cool, man.
and AJ Leon is on that show too.
Awesome.
So they have a couple of stuff, and we need to get you there, John.
You let me know, sir.
I know, man.
You let
I
me
think
know.
I'm gonna push for you to host Russell.
Whatever
Bring
works.
me up.
It'd be great to work with you, whatever
Yes,
date it is,
that'd
man.
be because I know me and you are just easy, man. We work together easy, and it's you're just
Two
you
old
got it down,
vatos,
man.
fucking double fisted.
Caesar from Planet of the Apes is badass. John is badass. So those are the shows that are coming up. Quesadas, and the block. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's just
nice.
it's always so great. I really and Vernon's actually November 21st.
Dude, Vernon's.
I have
love
Vernon's
that
on
spot.
November 21st.
You bring me
Thank
back
you.
there,
killed
buddy.
it. You
I
kicked
love
ass,
that
dude.
spot.
They loved you.
Nice.
And that is why, and I told Buck and I told Josh and I told these guys, I go, John has this, he's a worker. He's worked all this time. Everybody has been in that, you have the Russ Rivas and you have Steven, you have the older George Lopez.
I'm starting to love Russ
those
Rivas
are the
again.
those are the grandpa guys.
Yeah.
Then you have me, then it was like me, and then there was like, there was me and there was other ones. Me and Gabriel Iglesias and Kevin Hart, and we were the next ones. Then you have then you have the in-betweens. You have the Luis Powell, John Cuellar, Joe Quesada, AJ Martinez, Kurt Fletcher.
Can I just say I'd
Eddie
like
Foot,
to?
you know what I mean? You guys.
I'd like a time machine so I can go back and visit Goldie Garcia in the prime days. She must have been a firecracker.
Her and Nikki Mansion did a couple of shows with Steven, and I know
must have
those
been
were the
cool,
days. Yeah,
dude.
so
I love
you have those
Nikki.
ones, and then you had Eric Riego. He was a senator. There was, there's been a variety of us.
And it's
But
so crazy that we don't know
hasn't-
any of this history,
There's
because
not as much potential problems podcast for people now.
there is. a lot
I mean,
more
there is
potential.
now, but there wasn't for us.
Yeah.
We only had laughs, and if you didn't do it right, you
Or
were
if you
punished,
didn't
or
piss
whatever
him,
the
if you
hell this
pissed him
bullshit
off,
was, or
yeah.
whatever. I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? But there wasn't a lot of clubs. There wasn't a lot of places. You had to create your own shows. You had to like, hey, can I do some comedy? We did our place. We did. I mean, me
Our
and Steven
Place,
performed
yeah.
in Belen for 3 people one time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There were shows where I performed for 20,000, and there were shows where I performed for 3 people. It doesn't matter who is there. They deserve a good show. That's me. I'm going to
for
make them
fucking
laugh.
sure, man.
I'm going to do my hardest to make them laugh. And that's just the way it is, And we
Yeah.
bomb and we kick ass and we kill and we don't and we criticize and we're
fuck
we're
and we sock.
perfectionists and yeah, we just don't. So, it's good that you're still, I always thought that you have always had a great stage presence. And you showed it again. But do you feel, like I say, when would you say you're in your prime? I feel you're in your prime now.
Oh, maybe 2 weeks ago. I just got into my prime.
Right? So when do you say from the start till now, were you like, damn, man, I was on fire at this time? What
2
days?
weeks
Where
ago.
were you performing?
2 weeks ago.
Where were you
I think
at?
it started probably when I did Cake, which is
Okay.
in Santa Fe.
All right.
And thanks to TJ Jones. And then I did a set after that at I forget where else. Oh, at the Lizard Tail, which is
Okay.
Jake Bohr-Morris's spot off
Okay.
of Central.
Oh, nice.
And then after that is when I did Vernon's. And by that time, you know what's so crazy is if you're going to walk in the stand-up world, you really have to be gigging. You have to be working in that world every few days.
It's a
If you're
band.
not gigging, you have to be writing. You have to be thinking about your set. You
dude.
have to be improving it. And if you're not doing that every day, then it's going to be a battle when you have to jump back into it and start all over from like where you should have been instead of doing it every day. So in my opinion, I think recently I've gotten to my quote unquote peak, but hopefully it'll just be getting, higher and higher. And that's because I just have to keep working at it.
You didn't
man.
even fumble once at Vernon's. So that's why I say you're in your peak now, because you were just, boom,
thank
joke on point. You were moving around. You were telling the crowd. You were addressing all of them. You were on the mic. That's why I say that. I've seen other comics, and I'm like, dude, I need to get back. And that is what I intend. I'm like, dude, you need to be on fire, on point. I know
That's
when
because
you're getting lazy and you get procrastinated and you're like, I'm going to do this show half-assed. That's happened because I'm so damn busy sometimes. Like, dude, I've been driving to Vernon's from the station and saying, what am I going to say tonight? writing jokes on the way.
While you're
and I have
going.
15 minutes to get there. And I'm going to write what I'm, because I want to change it up. But, like as far as other shows like this one, there's just certain shows that you're like, dude, you have to be on point. But I have disciplined myself a lot more. And I found a notebook, dude, that I had lost during COVID that I wrote. It has about 18 pages of
Bust
jokes.
out those.
I found it. And I showed Buck the other day. I go, dude, look what I found. He's like, dude, I go, this is gold. I go, I have so many new, strong, hard jokes in here that I'm literally, like, I'm going to study tonight. I've been studying. Because I said, dude, like even tonight, November 1st, you have 14 days. Russell Peterson, 14 days. That's 2 weeks. You got to be solid. You need to be on point.
You're going to do
on
it.
fire. You need to do the best of the best of the best, bro, and kick ass and add some new flavor in there and just boom. That's what it takes to be, because nobody's going to do the set for you. Nobody's gonna,
and if you go up there and you're not prepared, you're going to feel so
gonna,
shitty afterwards.
Dude, people, it's all on us. It's on you, dog. I go, you did a shitty set. You did a shitty job. You didn't do this good. It's all on you. You can't blame anybody else for your performances or anything you do. Your writing, too. You're not a headliner just because you write 5 jokes.
Yeah, you got to be present. I guess we better get out of here, man. Oh my God, fucking great podcast.
Dude, man,
definitely.
You'll be back. How long was it, man? We were on like 2
Hour
hours.
50, yeah.
Yeah, man, it was great. Let's just do the same 2, man. Let's just take it to 2 hours. What's your favorite musician of all time? You have to pick one album or a musician that you just like. That is your favorite, bro. It's okay if you say Taylor Swift.
No, you know what? Honestly, I'd have
Alan, I
to.
wanna
It'd be
hear
a
you too.
toss-up between. There's 3. There'd be Beethoven.
Wow.
There'd be Tupac, and there'd be what was the other one I was just thinking of? Beethoven, Tupac, and then there's I'm trying to think of a folk. I guess Aerosmith. Those would be the 3 eclectic ones. What about for you, Alan?
Injustice for All is a good album. I like that one a lot. It's fun to play along with.
Which one did you say? I'm sorry.
Injustice
Metallica.
for All.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Dude, you have my
Mainly 'cause it's
respect.
fun to play
I saw
along
that
with it.
live in Albuquerque Tingley Coliseum. It was one of the baddest concerts ever.
Fucking amazing.
I've
right?
seen every Metallica show here. Just so you know.
Are you able to talk about the time that 97.3 switched formats for like a minute? And then people
dude, there's
were
been-
outraged.
Oh, dude, yeah.
They were like, no, that's our fucking station.
Yeah, there
and then
was-
it flipped back. And that's fucking rare. That never happens in a radio
Dude,
market.
there was some battles back in the day with Wild 106 and 97.3. They're
Really?
like Kiss this and Wild 10 crap. Like they were back and forth. They tried to switch to top 40. They 105.1. They went to a 105.1 kind of top 40 potential, and then they went back. There's been moments, dude.
That's
they
so
went.
nuts.
The DJs left and went across the street, or they came from across the street to Kiss. There was some radio battles back in the day, bro.
Are we talking like 2000, 2010?
Probably in the 90s, late 90s and the early 2000s. We switched to Kiss 97.3, your home for the most hip hop and R&B in 2003. and that's when I hopped on. So I hopped onto a whole new station, and it's been like that. We created the phrase that pays the most hip hop and R&B is My Kiss 973, but we had to change it in the last few years because we're playing reggaeton, we're playing Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
That's not hip hop and R&B, that's reggaeton. So now it's the rhythm of New Mexico. So we had it, and then the phrase, people say the most hip hop and R&B is My Kiss 97.3, Angels on Your Pillow, you know what I mean? Forever, I'll be with you at the court date. There was all these other, days that we had, that we kept that status.
Yeah.
But before that, it was top 40. They were doing a top 40 kind of like, and Kiss has changed so many different ways, different formats.
As far as I remember, you talked about LL Cool J recently, earlier, and I think his top 3 songs, that at least in my mind, Mama Said Knock You Out.
Yes.
Doing It Well, Doing It and Doing It and Doing It Well.
Right, yep. Badass.
And then Round the Way Girl.
Yeah.
Like those to me define what LL Cool J is,
yeah.
and
They
my
call
greatest
me
song.
Big LL, and and that's another track that you see on TikTok, and everybody's dancing to something like Phenomenon. He had other songs doing it, lounging. He had lounging.
Yes.
And there was other, there was so many hits. Mama Said Knock You Out. He had
Anytime
potential hits. I mean, not potential hits that were badass.
And anytime I think about Round the Way Girl or Mama Said Knock You Out, I think about riding the bus in 6th grade to John Adams Middle
Have a
School,
cassette.
and that playing on the radio, and it was 97.3. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, that station and that place has been around since I've been in fucking middle school, dude.
Me and you are on the same age, I guess, because I never, ever, when I listen to the bus in Taos, and I listen to my radio, and I would press record, and I listened to hear when Eminem was going to be at Tumbleweed. Never in my mind, and the DJs, all the DJs from Kiss were at that Eminem show, and they were all Kiss 97.3, and their name was DJ, all these DJs.
Chaz Malibu.
Have
you ever met Chaz Malibu?
Oh, I work with Chaz.
Is he cool?
And he's cool.
He's been around for fucking 40 years,
dude. Dude, there was a lot of dudes that have been around for a long time, like Erica Viking. You have TJ Trout, Chaz Malibu. You have, Bobby Box was one of them.
Bobby Box,
forever, dude. And you have like God rest Juan Velasco, man. That was one.
That dude was awesome.
That dude was a great dude, and I found a picture of me and him recently. I'm gonna post it and say a good story about him, man, because he was a great guy, and I really looked up to him, and he was a great soul, man. So the radio, there's been so much history to it, that's crazy. So Metallica and Justice for All.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm very impressed.
Because I'm a guitar player.
It's
real fun to play along
James Hetfield, man.
The whole thing.
Wow, Kirk Cameron, man, that's crazy. He's got. Was it Kirk Cameron or what am I
Kurt
saying?
Cameron,
Kirk
he loves
Cameron.
Jesus. Taken. It's like, if you don't give your soul to Jesus, Metallica will rapture you.
Left Behind.
Dude, fucking, Left Behind, right? And fucking Growing Pains. That's a Growing Pains if you're left behind.
Dude, I
saw the episode of Growing Pains where they were offered cocaine in the bathroom, and Boner
Growing
was going to
Pains.
go Growing Pains.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, dude.
Shit. Dude, I guess I'd have to admit with you, because mine, I have tried to narrow it down. My favorite rapper of all time is Notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
And to answer the question that we didn't answer, and I don't want to leave the podcast unanswered, Busta Rhymes, worst experience I've ever had.
Oh, shit.
Fucking
Talk
can't
too fast.
stand him. I just don't. I just don't. And it was heartbreaking because I was a huge Busta Rhymes fan. Him and Notorious B.I.G., they're both Jamaican. They had the slang. That's why they were badass. But Notorious B.I.G. is my favorite rapper of all time. And, but when it comes to albums, it would be either Bob Marley Legend, or it would be the Queen's Greatest Hits, or it would be, Michael Jackson Thriller. So those,
we listened to that. We watched Thriller last night for Halloween, dude.
You know what I mean? Yes. And those albums, you're like, God, man, you could listen to the whole damn song. Yeah. Snoop Dogg Doggy Style is another it's a contender.
Snoop Dogg Doggy
the
Style.
The whole album you can listen to.
Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
That's so. If you had to pick between Beethoven, Tupac, and who was the third one?
Beethoven.
Beethoven. Okay.
Yeah, Beethoven all the way.
Do you listen to classical before you perform?
No, I listen to classical when I'm studying or when I'm walking.
Smart. Well, studying comedy or just studying in general?
Studying philosophy
Wow.
or literature.
You like all that stuff, man. I need to get more into a lot of philosophical shit, man. And
I'm a dumb guy, but I like to
No, but
strive
we
for
learn.
understanding that stuff. Yeah, definitely.
But that's what makes us, you know what I mean? Like, even with a word, like, you're just like, Google's the answer for everything. But, you know, you can learn so much, like, even languages. I'm like, I want to learn how to play the piano. I want to learn how to speak Italian.
Do it. You can do it.
I want to learn more about history of religions. You know, those are things, and there's nobody stopping you but you.
Yeah.
The internet is just freaking crazy ridiculous.
What I did
in everything that you need of information.
It's out there, right?
Wow.
At this time at our fingertips.
What do you want to
Anytime
do what's a dream?
Just writing, becoming a better human.
You want to write a
That's
book?
what it is. No, just writing, becoming more concise in what I want to talk about.
Alan?
Grow a 1,500-pound pumpkin.
Oh, nice.
And float it down
What
the river.
about you, my friend?
And float it down the river?
Right?
Beat that record, too. Float it 46 miles instead of 45.
Was that the record?
Currently.
Most of my favorite movies are piano players.
Oh, nice.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, Elton John, Ray Charles, what's it called? Little Richard,
Behind the Candelabra.
Billy Joel.
Liberace.
Piano. I mean, piano to me is one of the hardest instruments to play.
Beethoven.
Would you agree, or would you say it's a guitar?
Piano is definitely harder.
Piano is
I
the
couldn't
base
grasp
for
it.
everything. If you can learn piano,
No.
I hear everything else is a little bit.
Well, yeah, because you have to learn
more
to read music to
translatable.
play piano, and I never learned to read music. I just learned tabs and learning by ear.
See,
So I'm not that good in that way.
he winged it.
Yeah.
Well, I love you, Alan, and I think you're amazing, and it's
All
been
right.
an amazing podcast.
Awesome.
Thank you
awesome
so much
to
for
Alan
hanging out.
and to John from Potential Problems Podcast.
Will you come on again?
Fuck yeah.
That's nice, dude.
I love it, man. I love talking and just shooting the shit and having a beer.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
and my freaking milk protein.
Oh, yeah, tell us about your
espresso.
milk protein.
Dude, I bought it. I said I need some Chicano energy besides Red Bull and Monster because I get all freaking jolted. But Total War, I'll use pre-workout, and then I'm like, ooh, and I'll get I'm like fucking crazy, bro.
Take
So
it
I said
down.
I'm gonna do some protein. I bought some espresso grounds.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yes, and so I just put the espresso in here with some milk and some
Gets
protein.
you going.
And I'm just like, yeah. But
That's what
I
I
feel
have
a
in the
lot
morning.
more energetic than I usually do because, like, as you get older, you're just like, I'm tired, bro.
Life beats you
tired.
down.
Fucking, yeah, you're like, I want to take a nap at 2.
Yeah.
You know, that shit.
Very real.
That's crazy, man. I don't know if that's a COVID thing or what the hell. Do you get tired, Alan? You're
Oh,
32.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I get real tired after work now.
What about you, John? Do you get tired? Or are you just now?
I just take a bunch of edibles, so I'm always tired. Potential Problems Podcast. Hey, man, thank you so much,
Thanks,
sir.
you. And good night,
Give Alan
ladies and
dap
gentlemen.
too. Alan dad needs
Yeah,
dap too. Nice.
brother Alan.